welcome back to the Black Sensei Society. We're back at it again. Episode number 41. This one should be a banger of an episode, as we will be talking a lot about My Hero Academia, considering it just ended. So tune in for that. There's going to be a lot of spoilers, so if you're not caught up, we're just letting you know now, because we got to talk about that ending. But with that said, appreciate all the members, of course. Creative Bobby, Jaden, Sauce, Dan Young, Solo, Kent, Trendy, Char. Appreciate everybody supporting the channel. If you really want to go to our YouTube channel. Very easy. Become a member. You can join our Shikai tier. It's not very hard. Just go to the YouTube channel. Throw out something out there real quick for us, and you'll be supporting us. You'll be first for any content we do. You can be part of that. Our members only chat, of course. You get your shout outs. You'll be a priority reply. And speaking of being first for stuff we do, we are thinking about doing a fantasy football BSS fantasy football league. Members will have first come first serve, of course. That will be held in the Discord, which you guys can join if you go to our Linktree link. Go over there, join the Discord. That's where we're doing all the fantasy football stuff. So we're shouting it out now, preparing the football season to start. So if you want to be a part of that, go to the Discord. Members get first serve, because we can't do it too crazy of a league, but make sure you guys join, of course. But with that said, gentlemen, how are we feeling?
I know My Hero ended, but I'm mourning the loss of another manga that I was reading bi-weekly as well, and I'll give it a little eulogy at the end of that episode.
I woke up today and I just thought to myself, I have to gaslight the hell out of Ty tonight. It's gonna be a good night.
My new phrase: "You will not gaslight me." That's my new phrase. Put it on a t-shirt.
I'm already working on a shirt.
You will not gaslight me, because it's not happening. But also, I would quick news. I'm on episode 7 of Lore Olympus. It's pretty interesting. Now they caught what's the main girl name? The pink girl. They caught her. They caught her slipping. They took her out. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? They took her out the party. What's going on? But it's pretty interesting though. So I'll give you guys updates.
The story's very good. I felt really sad when it was over, but I had a few problems with a few of the things in the ending, but it still it lowered it from a 10 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, endings matter a lot, man. Endings matter a lot.
Yes, they do. And we'll talk about endings today for sure, because
Wait, so Lore Olympus is done? I thought
Lore Olympus ended a few months ago.
Yeah, it's all the way done.
Okay.
Well, where do you still rank it in your top 10?
Yes, I do. It's if I'm talking romance, if we ever do have that romance one, it's right up there. It's what it does. It's just when you see Ty, when you get to just those those episodes where Hades and Persephone are just together, bro, they're just sitting on the couch and you're like, this is fun. This is just fun. The way the author just writes them is great. And it's a lot of people, not just especially maybe some manga people, but a lot of people could learn from how to write especially a very modern relationship. Mm-hmm. I think when you're talking about how, especially when there's an age gap, because obviously Hades is however old and Persephone is very young, especially compared to the god standards, how you approach that, the different things that Hades just constantly has to deal with behind while he's legitimately basically taking care of everybody else's problems. He's really good. The way he wrote Hades was really good. The way he wrote Zeus, even though I don't fucking like him, is really good. He just really gets the really shitty characters well. Well, she gets the really shitty characters written well, except for one. And I guess maybe that's the point of the story. For instance, Hera, when you see how Hera finishes, I feel really bad for her. But
the thing about Greek gods is that not everything's supposed to be a happy ending, especially when it comes to the gods. So, we were all in the group chat. We saw him crashing out about Apollo constantly.
Apollo's one of the grimiest niggas of all time.
Let's not say that.
We're not gonna spoil. Don't spoil it for time, but I appreciate Lore Olympus for how, he said, how they can modernize Greek mythology and things like that. I think that's very well done, but also they get really dark at times, and it gets really messed up, and it really makes, and like the way that she can write and the way that she makes you like connect with some of these characters, and then that she makes those characters go through the fucking dirt. I think that's why it became as popular as it did, because she has a really good way of connecting the characters and relating the characters to her fan base. So yeah, that's
like
a really talented author.
And anybody who, it's like, even the lowest of lowest side character, you're like, what the fuck, man? Just can they just fucking have some ice cream and chill, please? Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. That's the best way I can do it. And once you get there, Ty, we're gonna have to have a conversation, because I'm really interested to see how you feel about how the author writes their characters, especially from a modern romance perspective. And I want to stress that a lot. A modern romance perspective.
I got you.
All right. Also, shout out my green screen. I just got a green screen.
Yeah, you've been
I'm gonna be
spamming
using
now.
that for a lot of content, of course. We'll talk about this man a little bit later. And shout out Miles, who's moved to a new place. You gonna put a bunch of like anime stuff in the background?
Yeah, so I got a bunch of Funko Pops from Reborn that I'm gonna place. I got some album vinyls and stuff I'm gonna put up. Slow process. I finally got all. I'm upstairs, so I finally got all of the bullshit upstairs. Moving is mentally and physically draining, y'all. Hire that company. Don't even think about saving the bread. Just have them come and do it all for you. But I'm blessed, man. Smooth move. Got my setup, and we ready to go, man.
W. Hey, we can't wait to see that that background continuously evolve throughout the time, man. We here for it. But with that said, let's dive right into our first segment we like to start out the show with, and that is BSS News.
For BSS News, the first thing we're starting out with is the weekly Shonen Jump rankings. We're going to go through the entire top 10. Number 10, Hime 10. Number 9, Kagabachi. JDK number 8. I think JDK should be a lot higher, in my opinion. Number 7, Blue Box. The final chapter of My Hero is at number 6. Akane Banashi, number 5. Elusive Samurai 4. One Piece at 3. Number 2 is Mi Roboko. And number 1, Sakamoto Days. If you're not watching Sakamoto Days or reading it, you should. That last chapter was tough. But I want to focus in on number 6 because we got some news about My Hero that came out on Monday. And the news is that they're doing a worldwide popularity poll. Usually popularity polls take place in Japan, but they're doing a worldwide poll. I want to ask you guys, who do y'all think will be the top 3? Usually for the popularity polls, it's a mixture of Bakugo, Deku, and All Might. Usually Bakugo's number 1 because he's a GOAT, obviously. But who do y'all think will be the top 3 for that, the worldwide popularity poll?
I think it's probably going to be Bakugo, Deku. Yeah, Bakugo, Deku, and Totoro. Even though I would like to see if Shigaraki can make the top 3. I think my personal choice would be Bakugo, Deku, and Shigaraki. That's why I
wouldn't be surprised if Endeavor's in the top 3. The way his conclusion was fantastic. Like, it was great. Wouldn't be surprised if he's top 3.
Popularity poll. I would say Bakugo won. I think Bakugo's finish was probably the strongest in my opinion. I'm just being honest, and I'm not the Bakugo guy, so I think Bakugo will be one. I do think Deku will probably be 2. I mean, he's still the main character of the series. And 3, I can see Shiggy. I can see my boy, but I like Endeavor. I like the Endeavor pick. Just to be different, I'm gonna say All Might though. Maybe that's not that different. I'm gonna say All Might for number 3.
For context, Deku was first on the last one. So Bakugo was first for a lot of them, but the last one was Deku was number 1.
Okay.
It could be number 1.
Deku.
But the rest of y'all, what do y'all think?
I think with the series ended, I think Deku's gonna get the number 1 spot. I just feel like it being his series, it being finished. I feel like he's been gracious to get that number 1 spot. Then my man Bakugo gotta be second off rip. And then I don't know about Endeavor. I feel like his story arc was great, but I think people are gonna lean more towards Todoroki. I think it's gonna be those core 3.
Lonnie?
I'd probably go Bakugo, Deku, and Todoroki. Yeah, this makes no sense.
My only thing I'm saying is Never mind. It's not important. Never mind. I'm just gonna be dumb. Never mind. I'm gonna drop it.
What
You
was
okay?
the number 2 ranking in the popularity?
What's wrong, Random?
No. It's I see. Maybe because me thinking the last time we saw, obviously the Todoroki storyline finished great. It really did. But then we hadn't seen them for a little while after that until they just got panels. So that's why I'm saying like somebody said, well, Rocka in the chat, I could see that. But I really think the way Shiggy left really left an imprint on me. And if there is going to be a villain to ever grace the top 3, this is the time for him to do that.
You actually liked his ending?
Yes. I mean, was it perfect? No, but I really think the way he left from the speech, what he said was like, I don't care if everything worked out, I'd still be the hero for the villains. I really think that speech that he has and that declaration that he has really left an imprint on me more than I guess the Todoroki family, because at that point we were done with them. Nothing else we really need to know about them. So at that point it was just the final part, the final fight, and then the series was over.
I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad someone liked it.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. We'll get into it. The number, what was surprising, because I was listening to the rankings. What was number 2 again? I don't know if I heard you correctly for that.
The weekly. Let me see.
Yeah.
Number 2 was Me and Roboco.
Is it that comedy one that you read a while back?
I don't even know what that manga is. Mirror Boko.
Me and it's that I think it's
Me
that one.
and Roboko.
Yeah.
Okay, I know. That's number 2?
Yeah. The people love it, man.
It does really well.
My Hero at 6 for the final chapter of the manga is crazy to me. I'm not gonna lie. The final chapter and it's number 6.
By the way, JJK at 8 with us finally getting to see Yuji's domain expansion at 8 is crazy.
So I'll say this. Something that usually helps with weekly rankings, a trend is if you have a colored 2-page spread at the beginning, typically the chapters rank higher. Like it's a piece of like usually they rank a little bit higher than the normal. Like you'll see a manga that's like 12, 13, 14, then have a color spread, and maybe some content gets a little bit better and it gets like in the top 10 sometimes. So like that also is a lot of times a factor.
Fair. I'm not surprised One Piece is on the top because One Piece had a fire chapter. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not caught up with Sakamoto Day, so number 1, I got a peep. But
it's part of my agenda, Sakamoto Days. But for the news, I did want to read some of the last, because the final comments, because Shonen Jump magazine always has comments from like the writers and stuff like that. And since it was My Hero's last issue, all the mangakas that are serialized had lasting comments. I'll just read some of the big ones. So Gege said, "Without My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen would not have ever begun. Congratulations on the completion of the series." I think that's big. If JJK saying not existing because of My Hero. One Piece, Oda, asshole as always, said, "So you can play Pokemon Go all you want now, huh?" Hero Coach 10 years.
What a hoe. What a fucking hoe.
The creator of Elusive Samurai says your series was the perfect example of what jump work should be. Thank you for your hard work. There was one like that was, I'm trying to find it. There was one that was like kind of side eyes, like,
it seems like when a mangaka finishes their work, it's like they are co-workers. I kind of forget about that. Like Odin, they're literally co-workers. Like they go into the office and they work together. It's kind of crazy, right? But like it's like losing your favorite co-worker. I'm sure they're still employed in some way. They do like certain things for them in their contract, but it's like losing a great co-worker.
Even in the way they kind of like address those like those remarks, you can tell who kind of had like a closer relationship than others, who's more like formal and who's like playing around, like how Oda did it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. That means that they talked about that. Like, yeah,
it's interesting because like you think about like America, we're all like, yo, competition. We don't make friends with your rivals. Don't make friends with the competition. To always be on top, and because they are fighting for top spot rankings, like they're fighting to be like the manga that everybody reads, but they don't have the same type of like. I'm sure there's like that competitive spirit. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but they don't have that same type of tension or animosity for like rivals competing against each other to be on top for Shonen Jump. So,
Well,
Well, I feel like
I
there
feel
is
like
like a little bit of a rivalry sometimes, especially when it comes to like ratings and stuff like that, because the editors compete with each other all the time, apparently. So there is like tension there, but at the same time, it is like artists. I feel like are generally like good, nice, welcoming people. So like I think they do get along, but there is always, because of how Shonen Jump is organized, there is always going to be like competition.
I feel like for someone like Oda, I think he could be like, oh, chummy with everybody, because the nigga number one. He's like, oh, you know, he could be friendly, like, because no one's fucking with him right now. Like the nigga,
yeah, he's like the
he
the
like
top guy.
comic books. He is like almost about to be the greatest selling comic book ever. Like all comics across the board. Like I'm pretty sure he can be very friendly with people because it's like I'm not competing with you niggas. Like I'm Oda. Like,
We
'Cause
on
I
a different
know-
level.
Oh,
I
the
know-
really though. Like,
the side-eye comment was from Kyoto Necromance. He said, "My Hero Academia, an overwhelmingly emotional series from start to finish. I will miss it a little." Like that was the last.
That was funny. I'm not gonna lie. That was hilarious. Oh
that's
man,
probably tongue in cheek though.
for sure. All right. Well, let's dive right into the main topic. And really talk about My Hero Academia. So we're about to get right into it. All right, so I know this conversation can go in a lot of different ways. Also, if you guys don't know, you guys can send donations through our donation goal. I'll put it up for you guys to see. Send a donation for us. If you guys want your questions answered, if you guys want to mute someone, send us your recommendations, all that good stuff. The donation goal is below us. But there's a lot, I guarantee this conversation is going to go in a lot of different places. And after this, I have a lot of hot takes that people want to get off about the My Hero ending. So we'll address that as well. But first thing, everybody here that's caught up with the ending, that's read the ending, what is the take? What do you want to say about the ending? Whether it's positive, whether it's negative, what do you want to say? Lonnie got something building up over there. Do you want to go first or do you want to go last? Like, what's the feeling?
It doesn't matter to me because it's like it's not necessarily like a knock. I mean, if anything, it's like because I think My Hero, it is like in terms of like this generation of manga and anime, it's like one of the defining ones. Like when we talk about the last decade of anime, My Hero has to be mentioned. So the ending was. Let me say this with her hand. The ending was not bad, but I don't think that it matched the level of what My Hero. I think My Hero deserved something greater than what it got. To me, it was just like a generic ass shonen ending. Like it was generic. Like the last chapter was just like it just left me feeling like barely satisfied. It was just like it's like if you just went to like I don't know Taco Bell, you ate like just enough to like not be hungry. You're just like. Okay, like I honestly give the last chapter like a C. It was just like to me, it was just basic. I was just like I don't know. I felt the way I feel about My Hero. I'm not like a super big My Hero fan, but I just felt that as great as My Hero it is, it deserved a better ending than that. It was lackluster.
Okay. Who wants to go next? Am I lagging? Am I tripping?
When
No,
you
you good.
turn, you kind of skip frames sometimes.
It might be his green screen for
Yeah, it more than likely is a green screen.
It's like I'm getting an internet issue on here, which is weird. But yeah, who wants to go next?
I mean, I can go. My Hero, the ending felt to me like how I felt about the series. It was good. Like Lonnie, I'll probably give it like a B if I had gave it a letter grade. It just left me wanting more to the point where I'm like, I definitely know somebody's gonna come back and continue this. I think it felt very generic. It just left me wanting more, and that's where I go like Horikoshi and his health problems and things like that, which is always going to be like that. What if he was found a way to stay completely healthy the way he could have been? because the ending felt a little bit rushed. There were some things left on the cutting room floor, and I just really wanted more. I just really wanted more than what I got.
I like the ending a lot. The only thing I would give it an A-, and that's only because I wanted something from Deku no Chakra. But other than that, I thought there's nothing more from the story that I could pretty much get. I think a 5-chapter epilogue to me was a lot, more than we've seen in most manga. Like we have 5 chapters of falling action and resolution. Like we get a wrap up to all the important character stories, like whether it be in the epilogue or before that. Like for example, All Might's conclusion, I think, was when he was in the hospital with Deku. He basically granted him Bakugo and Deku as the greatest heroes. We got a conclusion to Endeavor family situation. For Bakugo, had multiple moments throughout the arc. Good conclusion for Shigaraki, like with Spinner as well. Like I feel like there's really, I guess I would ask, like, what? I guess you could answer that after Miles go, but what didn't we see that we needed to see? Because I feel like the only thing for me was just Deku and Ochako, which is I'm not mad about. I would want to see it, but it's not like it wasn't like a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the ending fit thematically. Like we got to see everything tie out. Him encouraging another person the way that All Might encouraged him was a great full circle moment. We got to see him post war. We see how his life is. Like we see him still impacting the next generation. We see Bakugo and the others basically put him back into the hero field, because I think even something small like him seeing a kid trip and then going to save them, that just shows how that was such a good characterization to me, because it shows how even when he's off the job and he's not a hero, he's so well characterized that he sees someone in need, he just can't help himself but help. And that goes back to the idea of what chapter 1, we see his body moving without thinking. Like that to me was such good writing to me. Like, so I'm just trying to figure out, like, outside of maybe Deku no Chaku getting confirmation, what didn't we see is what I would wonder. But I thought it was great.
But before y'all answer, I don't want to reiterate a lot of Ty's points because I feel like he hit it right on the head. But I do agree. I think the epilogue accomplished exactly what it was supposed to do, and it basically closed out all of the storylines that we needed to have closed. The main thing I was looking for was, whether the confirmation of whether he would lose his powers or not, and how that would affect his life looking forward. So I like seeing that there would still be a way in the future for him to still maintain being a hero, because that was something I really looked forward to. My only real slight, and it's just I feel like it's a really petty nitpick. I didn't like when he said this is a story about how we became the greatest heroes. I kind of wanted him to stand on his nuts a little bit, because I felt like he was a great reason as to why that all happened. But other than that nitpick, I was actually very satisfied with the ending. Yeah, I think it came full circle. I think to me, I was more engaged in that little epilogue period than I was in the war. I still got to go back and finish it. I'm about halfway through, but I'm pleased. I'm actually very, very pleased with My Hero.
My Hero Academia. So the ending of My Hero, I also agree that it pretty much touched upon everything. Now, even though it's like not a make or break with Deku and Uraraka, the fact that they don't solidify really any romances is kind of underwhelming. I'm not gonna lie, it definitely is very underwhelming. So you do some points get knocked. At this point, I can even say like Deku and Uraraka just fell a lot of points, but that's a different conversation, right? So the ending for me did everything I wanted it to do, man. They established my boy right here, Todoroki, as Himothy. We'll talk about that in a second. They also made sure that they are changing the hero rankings, which I thought it was either an abolishment or they were going to change it in some way. The fact that they changed it to include like other aspects of being a hero makes so much sense, because as I said prior, the previous way of doing it was contributing to the mess in the first place. So I'm glad that they changed that and made the proper assessment. But even though some things, wasn't as satisfying, everything kind of comes full circle when we recognize that the only reason why he's not the number one hero right now is because of his ties with Endeavor. Because Himothy is about to pass your boy Bakugo very soon.
No.
So I just want us to be very clear.
You know what's so funny about that?
This man right here,
he got to go off left field. Like,
you know what's so funny?
It's not even left field. There's nothing.
You know what's so crazy about that? There's two interpretations you can have for that scene when they said that. Oh, he's about. No, I'm being so serious. For one, It's been 8 years and he's never passed him. That's crazy. He's been ahead of this nigga for 8 years, and they say he's about to drop again. Does that mean that he dropped below him and then went back up and surpassed him again? I don't know. But another great moment that I liked about that ending was the old lady that passed up on Shigaraki. Like her, like people were wondering who is that mystery character. That's to be like that was such a
That was amazing, Tom.
that was such amazing. A moment that I felt like this is what I mean by like I feel like he gave us a lot and then some. That was something that you did not need to see. That was such a you could argue that was a throwaway character, just a random person, but he brought that for such a that was beautiful. And this whole message
that was literally amazing. That was your sequel being taken care of right there in that chapter.
That was literally like this. That's why any monologue is a story about how we'll always continue to reach out, and this means like everyone, like not just heroes, like everyone will all work together. And that's why this is the only reason I disagree with the line. Like this house, we all became great here because we all work together to make this world a better place. And that's why I think, even though I still think he's the greatest hero, like narratively, I think that message is more so trying to push the idea that we all need to keep reaching out to other people. And that's what, like, I feel like that was fantastic. Like bringing this random lady back from Shigaraki's past to make up for her mistake. That was such like a random cherry on top that I didn't know I needed. Like, so I feel like I don't know, man.
Also, let's be very clear with the Todoroki thing. The only reason why he's so low is because they're still connecting him with his father. So let's relax on that one. Because if it wasn't for
8 years,
yes, you know how long it takes for to get over trauma. Like, what do you mean?
Or Riddell.
I mean, I'm just going based off the words of Aizawa. I mean, he's the one who told us
Riddell. Or it could just be that Bakugo is just the people believe that Bakugo is a better hero than Todoroki.
Aizawa legit said,
no, they said
it's crazy how random is defending Bakugo.
No, he didn't say that.
What
people ranked him lower because they said they think of him as Endeavor. So it doesn't mean that they're
less.
That doesn't mean that they're going to rank him lower. That's not what that means.
No, okay. When you say the statement after
Riddell started glitching.
Am I still glitching? Am I is it bad?
No, you good, gang.
Okay. Because if I'm glitching, then I'm not gonna go on a huge tirade.
Go ahead, go on your tirade, man.
But
we about to get gaslit again. That's what's about to happen.
Complaining. Stop. So when it comes down to making a statement after talking about his status of a hero, and then you're using the context that people looking at him as close to Endeavor's son, because of everything that Endeavor did, that's going to be heavily weighing on why his ranking is not as high as it should be. That is why that point was brought up. It's not brought up just to say it. It's brought up to contextualize why he wasn't higher in the first place.
I disagree.
I'm about to say because he said well, he's doing good out. He's doing good day and night. He might be a little awkward, but he treats everyone with respect. Equally with respect, and these days people are looking less as Endeavor's son, less and less as Endeavor's son.
Yeah,
didn't they say Mount Lady is at the top?
No, Mirio's number one. He surpassed Mountain Lady.
And then also, I have a question for you. How does that then say that does that mean that? Okay, hold on a second. Does that mean without Endeavor he's number one? Based on what? That just let's say
how is he a better hero than Mirio?
Let's say for this conversation, they are impacting his ranking. Does that mean that it would impact it so much that he would surpass Bakugo? Does that mean impact it so much that he would surpass Mirio? You have no evidence for that. You're just saying that he would be ranked higher. Higher than what? Where's he ranked right now? Is he number 10, but he'd be number 5? But
we don't know his number right now. We just know he's below Bakugo and below Mirio. I know, but the everything is contextual. There's no numbers to anything.
I know, but you said he would. You said he would be number 1 without. I'm saying based on what? If let's say for this conversation he's number 12, and then without the Endeavor influence he would have been number 5. Like, what is that? Like, you're saying that he would be number 1. How do you know that?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, when it comes down to it, I'm just gassing up Todoroki. So there's no definitive information we can give him, because we aren't given anything other than the buildup of him through Aizawa's statements of him rising despite the circumstances he has to get past because of the cloud over his head, and the aspect of him consistently rising despite everything. And that earlier statement, or the statement that you just said, is the reason why he isn't higher. So that basically leaves up a limitless idea of where Todoroki could be if he didn't have this cloud over his head. So as of right now, there's nothing saying for or against the idea. If Endeavor's whole baggage wasn't over Todoroki, that he wouldn't be number one right now.
I don't understand how you say
the
that,
crazy leap.
right?
Yeah,
How
there's
is that a
no-
leap?
How is
How
he
is
a
that-
better
Wait, hold on a
hero?
second. Can't
How
two
is that
things
a
be
leap?
true? Can't he be ranked higher without this clout and still be below Mirio and Bakugo? Like, can't that?
Well,
Why
that's
can't
a
that exist?
possibility. I'm not going to say it's an absolute
So-
take. Obviously, it's
So
a
then, what are
possibility.
you talking
But
about?
it's a possibility for or against. For me, because of how much he's hyping up Todoroki, I'm saying for. I'm saying that if it wasn't for Endeavor, I don't know if he'll actually be like over Mirio, but he will be over Bakugo.
And you know what? And maybe without Bakugo's bad attitude, he'd be number one. You know, so we're just
Facts.
making up things, right? Yeah, you know, let's just
No,
throw
no,
things
no,
out
no,
there.
no.
Without this,
Bakugo
that.
self-sabotaging.
Facts.
No.
Like, come on,
Bakugo
bro.
You're not.
self-sabotaging for
We're
real.
just
Hold on.
projecting. We're just projecting.
No.
We're just
We're
projecting.
making a prediction on what will happen.
Bakugo might, you know.
Stop. Now you guys are being nasty because what Endeavor did is out of Todoroki's control. What Bakugo is doing is within his control. So what are we doing?
I didn't say it
Hey,
was.
y'all
they
can't
both
project.
I just
sway
presented-
public opinion one way or another.
Yeah, just an opinion. In my
Okay,
opinion, I feel
one
like this will
is
happen if this
because of your actions. One is because of
happens.
someone else's actions.
I
Sure.
understand it. I honestly I understand that, but I'm just saying I'm just giving you my opinion, just giving you my projection. You know?
And clearly
Okay,
the one
they're
out of his
very
control-
different based off the own
You know what,
person's
actually,
capabilities.
And my
So the
projection is that
person's capabilities, Bakugo's capabilities, is limiting him because he's too aggressive towards people. Am I right or am I wrong?
Well,
Am
how
I
is he
right
still
or am I
ranked?
wrong?
People don't see it that
He's still
way.
ranked as
Am
one of
I-
the top heroes, even though he
What?
has this aggression for 8 years.
Okay, all right. Let's.
It-
all right.
You get what
Am I-
you get what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what
Is he not?
exactly, Ty.
Is he not? He's still one of the
And
top
Lonnie,
heroes.
you're
Yo,
muted.
say that
Lonnie, you're
again.
muted.
Say that again. Say that again.
He's still ranked as one of the top heroes, regardless of this
Oh,
personality.
I agree.
Wait,
If
can y'all hear
Bakugo
me?
didn't have the aggressive
can.
personality, you know what? Me and you would actually agree to this point. If Bakugo didn't have the aggressive personality, he would be right up with Mirio right now. But he does. That is his personality. So he'll never get that spot unless he changes.
Wait, question. Isn't it
And I
easier
can
to
still- and
wait,
we
isn't
can-
it easier to control something that you can control compared to something that you can't? Like Bakugo still overall can control his emotions.
That's what I was saying.
Todoroki
Exactly.
can't control how other people view him.
And-
Those are
and
two
Lonnie,
different things.
And
And
to
also,
take
if
it further,
Deku's a hero
What
game,
is-
why wouldn't he rise above everybody else just off of name and clout alone?
Because
Facts.
Endeavor is probably taken all the way out because of everything that all the baggage
No,
connected. to it.
but Deku,
That
But
one is not-
Deku was the hero of
Oh,
the whole
Deku?
situation.
I mean,
so
we
he's
don't-
not-
said Deku.
Deku hasn't been fighting, so I'm guessing that's why he's not part of
Yeah,
it.
but I'm saying
So-
if we're projecting by projections,
not
Deku should
projecting,
be
though.
number one.
I think
Yeah.
the
Actually,
moment
I'm
they see
projecting. Let me-
Deku
You are
save somebody in
projecting.
that
I
suit,
said that. Yeah, I'm
Mirio got a problem. The moment that the people see Deku save somebody in that
It's
suit,
over
Mirio
with.
got a problem.
Yeah, it's over. It's
It's
over.
over with. It's
Oh,
over with.
Deku, depending on how good the technology is, he could definitely potentially.
If,
be
if they see Deku in the field saving someone, it could be a kitten. It's over with.
It's
over
over.
with.
Like, especially if it's an upgraded version
I know
of the
you want to
armor
hate
that
him. I know you
Hold
do.
on,
He can
hold
help
on.
I
someone
do.
across the
Hold on.
street as long as he got that suit.
Liddell.
I actually use the context of the final chapter to explain the Todoroki claim. That's a reach. Deku saves one person, he's automatically number one.
he
hero.
saves the
That's
world.
a reach. That's
saved
not a
the
reach.
world.
What are we talking about? He saved the
saved
world.
the world.
He saved the world.
All of them saved the world. We had
Nah,
listen,
that's not
listen,
the same.
Who was
listen,
at the forefront?
Lonnie,
That's not
you're
the
not
same,
doing-
Riddell.
You especially, Lonnie.
Who
You're
was
not
at the
doing it.
forefront, Riddell?
We had an entire episode calling Deku a fraud for having help. So
Oh, I'm not
no,
taking back any
we're
of
not
that.
doing this.
I'm not
We're
taking back
you're
any of
not-
that.
you don't
I'm not
get
taking back
back
any of
into
that.
it.
I'm saying
Riddell,
from an
I'm sorry,
optics
man.
standpoint, from an
Riddell, hold on,
optics
hold on.
standpoint, who do they say is the hero of the situation? They say that is Deku. The people view Deku as the hero, as the biggest hero of that situation. He's the one that one shot all for one. He's the one that defeated the big bad. So if he goes back into heroism, the hero of that the main hero that saved the world in their eyes, I don't care if he's walking an old day across the street, they're gonna put him at number one.
For walking an old lady. Okay.
I don't care what he does.
Well, I mean,
Riddell,
we're being
Riddell.
hyperbolic, but you understand what we mean.
But you know what we're talking
You
about.
understand
Sorry
what we're
that
saying.
The reason why I don't understand what you mean is because I would agree with you if you're saying Deku build up his resume. Then I'm like, yeah, I think
He would have
will, for
far
sure.
less work to do than
Yeah,
other
he would have
heroes.
less, that's the
that.
point. He would
You
have
said
less
he had
work
to
to
do
do
one
than the
thing.
others.
That's where
We're
it was
being
like, what do you mean
Riddell.
one thing?
We're being hyperbolic. Like, come on,
He
bro.
would have a lot less
You
work
will not
to do
gaslight
than
me,
the
exactly,
others.
Santo.
I'm just going based on what y'all
You will not gaslight me.
I'm just
Not
going.
Sato, Lewis. My
I
bad.
think when you're
Go
looking at
ahead,
the
Randy, go
pedestal, the pedestal that Deku already is at, and he's retired. Like the only thing that blew my mind was what was the kid's name that Deku talks to? He like maybe because he's been out the public eye, he's like, you actually exist. I was like, what the fuck you mean you actually exist? You saw him fight on TV. Like this dude.
It's like me and LeBron in real life. Like, oh my god, it's LeBron. Like, it's like oh my god.
Sure. But my
Deku's
thing is,
LeBron.
I think like let's just say the first situation. Even if it's the exact same situation that Baku was in to start the story where he saves a kid from a sludge monster, Deku is immediately put at the top. It's like Riddell, let me ask you a quick question. Patrick Mahomes retires. He retires for 5 years. Mm-hmm. Then he comes back, and the first game you see him, he throws a nasty 87-yard touchdown, or he throws a touchdown again, looking just like Mahomes of old. You're immediately saying he's the best quarterback in the league. That's what you're saying. That's what you are saying.
Immediately.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
That's what you are saying.
What I'm saying.
No. I understand the analogy, and I probably would agree. But my question then would be: is Deku that much of a gap compared to Bakugo?
Oh, yes.
Because Patrick Mahomes is a gap to the point where he can come back and be
from an
better.
optics standpoint.
Do you think Deku
from an optics standpoint, Bakugo's fucking Deshaun Watson?
I'm asking Ty.
Hold on a second. Do I think he's a gap where he would be number one? Like, if he comes back?
Yeah, so he just has to come back, do one thing. There's so much of a gap. No, so based off the analogy Random gave, Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion, at the very least, is like so much better than everybody else. So he can lead.
I don't agree with the analogy about. So do I think that the point is that because we're doing all these assumptions, if he comes back, will he likely be at the top or ahead of Torque? Probably. Now, do I think it's a gap between like him and Mirio and Bakugo? I don't think so because for we know it's 8. Yeah. I'm talking Todoroki for 8 years. Bakugo was ahead of Todoroki. So like so if Deku comes back. And he like I think could he pass Todoroki? I think so. Would it be a massive gap? Probably not. But could he pass him? Could we do hypotheticals? Yeah, why not?
Oh yeah, if we're talking about building up your resume again, I agree. Deku couldn't pass everybody. I agree.
I was using Patrick Mahomes as an example because I knew that's what you would do. But obviously, the minute he saves someone, like we've all been saying, he's going to be put at the top because he doesn't have the 8 years in between that could maybe change what people view him. Like people have 8 years of Todoroki and the rest of the heroes doing stuff. But the minute that they see Deku save a kid from falling off a tree, they're like, oh yeah, remember the last time? And then they start thinking about Deku and all that. And, oh yeah, he was the one that defeated Shigaraki and saved the planet. Like it's immediately like, oh my god, he's back. Like the GOAT hero is back. So they're gonna put him up top. I'm not saying
so Miles, is this hyperbole? Yes or no? Miles.
Listen, man. You want to rope me in with other brothers, man? I set my piece.
Oh, okay.
So here's what I actually mean when I say he's gonna rise up fast. Like the last page, they're like what they're saving like a tsunami or like a flood or something, whatever.
Okay.
The camera people, they see that next week he's like top 15, top 20, and then a few months later he's top 10. Another month or two, he's like top 8, top 5, and then like he's gonna rise like that. When I say like he's gonna get the fast track up in the rankings. That's what I mean. He's not gonna have to wait 8 years to like pass these guys. He's gonna do it probably he's probably gonna catch up to them within like a year or so.
And I agree I already said like he has a shorter window to become number one compared to everybody else, but it does depend on how good the technology he has on. Like if he's not,
that's where I disagree. That's where I disagree.
I don't wait. Okay.
The prototype suit that All Might had was able to fight Prime All for One. It's been 8 years since then. That motherfucker probably got extremist stuff really like Iron Man.
Then I agree with you. Like
even if he had the prototype armor, he's fine. He's fine.
I agree. If
that universe is as strong as Prime All for One in the story, we don't know. I don't think there is anybody as strong as that. I think even if he had the exact same suit All Might was using, Deck was going to be fine.
Oh, I agree.
How much money does Bakugo have if he was one of the main ones paying for this?
Man, remember he got a crib. He's not in the same struggle bus as everybody else. His family's doing pretty well.
Bakugo is making money.
Also, shout out to Bakugo for pitching in the most to get leading people on, get it, because they said Bakugo was a lead person. Yeah, listen, full circle more for Bakugo, making fun of Deku being quirkless, but now it just
Yeah.
he won't get his credit. He won't get his
Now
credit
he's funding his career.
Yeah,
Now he's
Random, how you
funding
feel?
his career.
on this platform. He won't get his credit, and that's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Random, how do you feel about that?
Yeah.
I was like, he better.
Yo,
Yeah, he better.
yo,
Better.
All right, let me stop being nasty. Let me stop being nasty.
Better.
Let me stop being nasty. I thought it was really awesome that he did that. I really thought it was either going to be Uraraka or Bakugo was going to do the most. So it was a really cool thing that he did that, because it, like Ty said, it is a full circle moment, because Deku don't exist. Bakugo is dead with some sludge in him. That's what happened to Bakugo. So I thought it was a really cool moment. It was really cool that he did that.
And if Bakugo does it, Deku gets shot with Shigaraki's piercings. Like, what are we doing?
Well, I mean, what happened way before the other. So
that's not really relevant. I just said that when Bakugo's not there, Deku dies. Am I wrong?
Look,
I mean, Deku not there, Bakugo dies.
Oh,
Nothing
cool.
happens.
So
They don't even make it to UA. Ty,
okay, Random.
I was being a little nasty, but we can have an argument.
I agree. Now it's my
We can
question.
have an argument if you want.
No, that's fine. I agree with you. Yeah, for sure. Now, does Deku die without Bakugo?
Absolutely.
Okay, there we go.
But one of them happened first. One of them happened way first.
Sure.
Like,
one chapter one. Obviously,
to say it was a really cool moment. Also the fact one of my top 3 panels of the last chapter was when Bakugo's like, Deku, come on. And then they get the full parade sped of class 1A. By the way, I was liking a few of the older fits, like Kaminari's fit looked pretty cool to me. I wish they showed me. I always loved Ingenium's hero suit. I've always loved how he looks. I wish we got a full thing of that. But I thought that was a really cool panel that, he's the one that gets him to go. And then you see then the other one was Uraraka. She's looking at Deku. Shoto's looking at Deku, but the only reason Bakugo is not because he's in front, But I think he would have been looking also, like the 3 people in the class who were most important to him were looking at him. And I was like, I bet they were like, it's so awesome to have him back. It's so awesome to have him back.
Question I had for everyone: out of the major new gen anime that have or manga that have ended, so like Fire Force, Demon Slayer.
Well, before we deviate from My Hero, because we still have plenty of like My Hero talk about for the final chapter. Because Ty did ask a question earlier on what was missing. Was that your question? What was missing?
Oh yeah, like what? Like outside of, I think most people want to see Deku and Ochaku. So I'm saying, like, out of the just the story, what did we need to see that we didn't see?
Are we talking about like the little things?
Back to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, like
If we're like nitpicking, where the hell is Dad at? If we're talking about the little things that don't matter. Where the hell?
I'm saying, but
My dad was not going to show up.
I'm more so saying things that we need to see. Obviously, his dad was not important in the story. So it's like,
hey, we heard he had a fire ability. I was like, yo, did Endeavor was stepping out? Like, what happened? No, but we don't know. We don't know.
We don't need to know. I'm saying, like, what do we need?
Things that were missing that we were listening out. I think like they covered all their bases. Like, I don't think like they really missed a lot.
So like, what do you
feel like it was missing something?
What did y'all want? That's a better question.
Or to even add on to your question, what could have been improved too?
I'd say
definitely the solidifying of the relationships. That could have been
that's pretty much it.
That could have been better. I would have liked maybe like a big final conversation between All Might and Deku before the time skip. I think that would have been dope. Like we got like a little combo with him and Bakugo, but I think like if him and All Might like finally had like not finally, but they had like a big conversation, because before like the whole world war started, like they weren't. It's not they were on bad terms, but like Deku was in like a bad place and he was kind of pushing All Might away, and like I don't think they really got to like talk through that enough. So like I feel like if they had like a full like talk about everything that like their Deku's whole journey, I think that would have been dope. Like a final Sensei student moment. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I could like nitpick stuff, but other than that, that's like they covered all their bases pretty well. So,
2 things I would bring up is first, like, what was the point of like the entire Ember thing? The Ember's still there, and he's not having the quirk. Like, what's the point of even mentioning the Ember still being there? I don't really get that, to be honest, unless it's more symbolic. But then I'm like,
at what point?
The aspect of there's still an ember, I still feel an ember, that whole thing. That has
Well,
been
he used the ember to like get
what chapter are you
to
talking about?
Uravity, because like he thought that she was upset, so he used the power to like get over there fast.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
He
No,
used
no, because what chapter are you referring to?
So you remember when they were all healing, Deku said he still felt an ember, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
In the hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah. When Uravity was upset and she like went to that like cliffside or whatever, he said that he used his powers to like get over there as fast as he could.
But that doesn't mean he used all of it.
No, he didn't use all of it, but like he still used the powers.
No,
Like
the point of bringing that up is that
worthless.
when like I'm looking at it, so when he mentioned the ember, he said, "Wait, if that was to bring Bakugo in to like hear the conversation, like, oh, so you're quirkless again." That was the point of that, and then Deku explains like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be like my powers gonna run out." So that was the point.
I'm pretty sure like they even Bakugo's like, what? There's still an ember. Let me go back.
No, he said, "Wait, there's an ember." He says, "You mean you're quirkless again?" Because if that's what he said, if it's just an ember, that means like he's explaining like he's
because there was like a whole thing. I feel like for the last couple of chapters with this ember drop. But I'm gonna look through everything to make sure. But I'm gonna look through everything to make sure. So that's one of the things. And the another thing is, I feel like some of the characters I do think had somewhat of like a appeasal. No, that's not a good word. Somewhat of a satisfying type of ending for like the students. Like Red Riot had the whole thing where a lot of boys think he's pretty cool. I just would want, I feel like maybe more of them to also get that too. Like, did we? I don't even remember us getting anything from Momo about what she's doing. And she's supposed to be like really, she was hyped up to be like from a really good family, very smart, all that stuff. So to see a little bit about her and what she's doing. Earphone Jack Girl did a lot during the war, so even her and Kaminari, even though he's like a dunce, but he still has like some of the coolest abilities in My Hero. So I feel like there's other characters that also could have got shine. The ones that did get shine, credit to them, but all of them did something in the final arc. So I'm surprised that all of them didn't get like something, like one sentence about them.
Yeah, what do we know what ended up happening or the future of that alien girl, the one with the acid or whatever? Do we know?
Oh, they were hyping up her and Red Riot's relationship too, and nothing happened.
Yeah, no, we didn't get anything from that. Yeah. So
no ships got resolved, or none.
None.
Y'all really care about the ships that much?
I don't care. I don't care about it that much. Like Deku and Gravity, I cared about.
I care about that one, but
that's the only one I really cared about. But other than that, not really. Like there were like obvious ships, like the electric dude and the Earjack girl.
That too. I forgot about that one. That one as well.
I think the girl that can make stuff, she was into Todoroki.
I agree. There was something there as well.
Yeah, she like blushed at him a few times, but other than that, like, yeah, someone was into the invisible chick. I forget who was into the invisible chick, but yeah, I don't really care about those as much, but it would have been good to see Deku and Gravity. I don't know, because like the way like it ended, like you could see like they're probably gonna end up together, yada yada yada, but it still was just like okay, it wasn't like a big portion of it. Wasn't like I thought it was gonna get like its own like full chapter of them like admitting their feelings, and we just didn't get that. So
I mean, even in the ending, you don't really see them together until the big spread, because I understand that Oravity's doing her own thing, right? Fighting to make sure there aren't any more like Togas or anything like that in the world. But even then, it would have been cool if Deku was like finding a way to support her from like behind the scenes or anything like that. But he just kind of it just felt separate, and that's a shame.
I mean, they explained that because the crime rates went down, like only the top heroes are needed, and it's not as urgent.
Well, I think he meant like a separation in terms of like their relationship. Like they still don't seem like they're like together or anything like that. So like they didn't show anything that made it could seem like, oh, they're in a relationship now. They didn't show that.
Also, they said that Uravity and Froppy and and Momo are all
They work
teaching
with
at elementary schools.
Elementary school. Yep.
Yeah, so we got
I thought
lots.
they were just traveling to elementary school.
Yeah, I
No,
think
they
that-
were.
teaching there.
Yeah, I think they were traveling to schools. They were traveling to
They're
schools all over.
like a presentation they do in different schools. That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
so
I'm rereading the last 5
I'm
chapters.
saying
right
that
now.
that they're all like we were saying like what happened to Momo. I'm just saying that she was with Urabi and Froppy. They were all doing the same thing together.
All right, Lonnie, what is the panel where he says the last of his powers or something like that? Because I read the embers. So Bakugo says your Quirkus again, and then Deku says right after that, yeah, I still have a little bit of the ember left. So that's kind of insinuating that I still have a little bit of power left. And if Lonnie, if your theory is correct, that means that he used the last of it to see Uraraka.
429, page 6.
I don't know if that was him using Elastic's power. I just think that it's implying that his powers are going to eventually run out because he said your quirks again. I think he's just saying that his powers are going to run out, and that just so happens to be the last time we see it. I don't think he used it.
I didn't mean to say he used the last of his numbers, but I said he definitely was using his powers there because like you could see him jumping from the sky. He's like, I leapt over here.
I think it's just saying that his powers are about to run out. I mean, and it's just like All Might though. Like All Might's powers faded away.
Yeah, 429, page 6.
It had like this grandiose end to his power. So maybe I guess the grandiose end was him seeing Uraraka, but the fact that their relationship didn't culminate to anything, like that's not the greatest. I'm not gonna lie. But it is what it is. I do want to read some.
Can I just throw my answer real quick for Ty for his thing?
Oh, you didn't answer? Go ahead. Go for it.
So I guess one of the thing somebody mentioned in the chat, the quirk singularity thing, you mentioned it enough that it was something that I've always been curious about how he's gonna do that. If you're gonna save that for a sequel series, okay, bet. I also think Horikoshi should have just pulled the trigger. I think All Might should have died. I think what's his name? The guy who became Bakugo's heart, he should have died as well. Like the fact that it feels like what all the crazy injuries that we saw some of them take or some of them go through in that war as a final arc, like some of those people should have died, and it would have been okay. You could have found a way to do it. Obviously, Deku and Uraraka, that speaks for itself. And I'm reading the last 5 again, trying to figure out why I'm just so like
it just doesn't like it's like a slow burn ending, which I'm fine with, but I do agree with what you were saying about maybe the war. Like it's not about that there weren't enough deaths or anything like that. Like, do I agree that All Might probably should have died or something like that? Yeah, that would have made sense in some of the situation. I just felt like I don't know the All for One situation. Like I would have been cool with him dying, but in terms of the guy that restored Bakugo's heart, that did piss. The whole situation pissed me off because originally pissed me off because like logically it's like, wait, this dude is out of commission. You're like the number 6 hero and you're sacrificing yourself mid-war. Dude's in the middle like whooping all your teammates' asses. You're like, oh, I'm gonna sacrifice myself for this guy. So it's like, to me, that's not logic because like your guys are literally getting your ass whooped. You're gonna like do all that. But then it was like, all right, this guy's sacrificing himself. I respect that. That's a big sacrifice. Yada yada. He also said, oh, I can't. He's like, I can't revert back. And then next thing you know, they kind of backtracked a little bit where like he ended up coughing up. He's like, oh, I'm never gonna be the same. And then they backtrack a little bit again to a few chapters ago where it's like, oh, now he's eventually gonna be back to normal. So it's like originally we thought he was gonna die.
When did they say he was gonna die? I keep like,
well, originally it was implied like, yo, he might die. Like he's gonna be this guy's heart. Like he's not gonna, because like when he was talking to Genus, he was like, yo, I'm not. He's like, you can't come back to like from that shape. He's like, I'm gonna be this guy's heart. It is what it is. Then it was that. Then it's like, oh, so it was like, oh, he's just gonna be gone. Then it's like, all right, he's dying, or he might not come back. When he like coughed, like when he came out of Bakugo, he was like coughing up blood, and he was like really small. They're like, oh, he might not come back. And then after the war, he's like, oh, I'm probably gonna be this size forever. And then after the time skip, he has arms and all that. No, before the time skip, we see that he's growing his arms back and stuff like that. And he's like, and then Bakugo's like, are you eventually gonna be back to normal? And he basically is like, yeah, I probably should at this rate. So it's like, the sacrifice lessened like 3 different times, which that kind of pissed me. That to me was like some Mickey shit. I didn't like that.
So I can see why you would feel that way, but it also seemed like there was just Ed Shot himself seemed very uncertain with how that whole entire situation would fold out for himself. He was just making a decision in the heat of the moment to basically save the strongest fighter at the moment. He didn't know if he would die. He didn't know how he would grow back. He just knew that was something that he would have to do at that moment. But I could see how you could feel like
It's
him
like
dying would make it way more significant. Like, I'm not going to combat that. That does make sense. But you can kind of use uncertainty to kind of understand why it went the way that it went. That's all I'm saying.
I can understand it. Like him dying, that would have been like a big impact. But then it's like, all right, now he's alive, but he's never going to be the same. All right, so it's like, all right, that's a little bit less than dying, but it's like, okay, he still made a big sacrifice. Now it's like, oh, eventually he's gonna be the same. So now it's just like, you just keep on lessening the sacrifice. So like, to me, it's like, I don't know, I don't like stuff like that in stories in general.
I just don't think it was implied he was gonna die. I thought it was implied that's a risk. So I don't think him living is like a step back if it was never saying.
It's the fact that like the sacrifices, like they kept on lessening the amount, the situation that he put himself in, like the weight of the situation lessened in each instance that got brought up, and that I didn't like.
I just don't think it did. Like because you said like for at least for me, I don't think it was implied ever he was gonna die. I just think this is a risk. So to me, him living is not lessening. It was a risk, which it was. It's
almost like, in a lesser way, like how I've originally viewed the 8 gates in Naruto, where it's like the 8th gate is like the gate of death. So it's like when you're done with this gate, originally I thought like, oh, you're probably gonna die. You're gonna get close to death. And so like if my guy was just the same after using the 8 gates, I would have been pissed. I would have been like, oh, if he's just doing backflips and all this other shit, just 100% normal after using the 8 gates, I would have been like,
just with the wheelchair.
Well, he's in a wheelchair, right? So it's just like, there's not like a permanent consequence for that, because eventually the guy's gonna be 100% normal. At least that's what they're implying. So, or he's implying. So it's like the weight of the sacrifice is not the same.
Yeah, and the initial implication was there is like legitimate, like an idea that he was going to die or he was going to be stuck inside Bakugo forever. So at the very least, like. I didn't expect to see him again. I'll be honest. I didn't expect him to see him again, whether or not he was dead or alive. So,
did you expect him to be completely normal at the end of it?
Yeah. After he came back, I was like, Similani, I thought, okay, he's gonna be like that forever, and then he's like, no, I'll be fine. I'm like, that's tough. Well, the crazy thing is, they killed Midnight so easily.
Also, think All Might Living was good because him and Deku talked about how they were gonna basically change his fate, and they did. And then he has that vision of Night Eye talking about when he fought All For One. He said, "This is when you were supposed to die, as I envisioned." But basically, him investing in his students, like that's what he said. When I'm investing in you guys to ensure that I can change my fate, and that's what he did because he was doing it alone. Like he was going out fighting by himself. So his investment in the next generation is what kept him alive. So I think that was fire.
Oh, and Riddell, you can probably relate to this since you were like in the Black Clover space. All those people at the end of that war arc that were called that because it was trending, that like they were calling like Black Clover like Mickey Clover, Disney Clover, yada yada yada, because no one died at the end of that war arc. I need y'all to keep that same energy. I really do. Because that was a big thing back there. Like everyone was complaining, like, oh, the demons, the devils, they didn't kill anyone in Black Clover. Like. They were saying Yami should have died or someone else should have died. Like he was whooping everybody's ass. Like, but hey, I don't see anyone complaining about my hero. So I just need them to keep the same.
Listen, man, we don't need to match bad take for bad take, man. Like
if you were saying
Yami should have died,
well, at least Midnight died. So that's something.
She was killed off panel.
I know, that's crazy, right? Like she just got killed off panel. That's kind of crazy.
That was my baby too.
I was
mad.
Hey,
what'd she do?
The ninja dude, he can stay, but Midnight gets
Midnight gotta go.
That's kind of crazy to me.
They didn't even like when they caught up to the killer in the final war arc. That was even treated with the gravity I thought it deserved when they finally beat that guy. So the villain that we found out killed Midnight, they didn't even treat that with the brevity that it deserved.
I completely forgot about that. Yep, I'm with you. I want to read off some hot takes, and I also, before we get to Lonnie's question, I do want to do what someone suggested in the comments, doing our. We don't really have much to go on, so our hero rankings. We'll agree as a collective. Our hero rankings of right now, based on what we know from the manga as of right now. So we'll do that, but let's read off some hot takes. First person, Kobe. This is from the Discord and the YouTube community tab. First hot take is from Kobe's son. He said, "Boy went from time I became the number one hero to the time I became the number one 9 to 5 worker." Ty was right. All of y'all was right about MHA. To be honest,
Ty was right. What did I say?
I don't know.
hey man, I'm just.
I did not. Wait, hold on a second. First of all, don't put. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Niggas, don't attach a bad take to me. Him, I don't get why people are so upset that he's like a teacher. Like, what the? I'm so like. Did people have a problem with All Might becoming a teacher after he lost his quirk?
No, I kind of expected Deku to be a teacher.
When no one diminished All Might. Oh, I used to be the number one here. Now you're a 9 to 5. Like, people are just getting jokes off because it's supposed to be funny, but no one cared that All Might became a teacher. Like, no one diminished All Might as a character because he's a teacher now. So why are we doing it to Deku?
Actually, you know
saw
what?
the meme. You saw the meme of him working like McDonald's or something like that.
Yeah, there was a viral picture of him like working at like a McDonald's, giving All Might kids meals to people.
Well, I know where it came from. I'm just saying that take is just very strange because like a lot of great heroes are teachers, and All Might became a teacher after he stopped being a hero. So I'm just confused. Like, why is that?
It's one of the best things you could probably do.
Before you guys cook, let me attach this hot take too, because it's similar. I'm not caught up to give a fair judgment on the ending, but my timeline keeps saying Deku peaked in high school. True.
Yo, you nerd.
So if you want to do that, then every single person.
Is that true? I'm just asking a question.
Bro.
If you want to do it like that, then everyone in class 1A except for maybe like Mineta
So
peaked in high school.
now you want to acknowledge Mineta. Now you want to acknowledge Mineta.
Nah, because Mineta ain't. Do you think Mineta's peak was when he was when he was accepted to UA? That was his peak. He's been trash ever since.
Jesus Christ.
Wait,
I don't understand why y'all defend Mineta the way. Name one time Mineta threw a punch. Name one time.
But you go out your way to hate on him.
Because he sucks.
You hate Mineta.
Because he sucks.
But the question
I just feel like you jealous.
Name one time Mineta threw a punch, Lonnie.
Rent free.
Absolutely rent free. He shouldn't be there. Name one time Mineta threw a punch, Lonnie. Name.
I don't know. Probably
got
like
430 chapters. Find one time the nigga was
know.
actually down to throw some beaters.
You don't need to throw punches though. That's not his job. His job is to throw balls.
What the fuck?
All right, let's move on.
I don't see Todoroki throwing punches. I see him throwing ice and fire at niggas.
was in the fight. Like, what are we talking about?
Mineta was in the
Yeah, he was
Mineta
there.
was doing nothing.
We're not having
Even
a Mineta
Invisible Girl
debate,
out here in the fight.
Come on, we're not having a Mineta debate.
All right, but to what Todd was saying earlier about Deku's occupation, I actually thought teacher might be second because I thought, like, my headcanon earlier was like, okay, he's losing his powers. What's something that he would do? And All Might's best friend is a cop, and I thought like, oh, Deku would just be a cop with him, and like he would still figure out a way to like be a hero in some type of way, shape, or form. He would be like a cop helping out with the heroes and stuff like that. He would still try to be in the action, but being a teacher also makes sense with how analytical he is with everybody. So,
and also he wants to get back to like literally pushes Hero Society forward more by mentoring the youth, like than being a cop. Like I just
facts. Respect teachers
and respect Mineta.
No, I never.
All right, here's the next hot take. This is from our boy Sauce. He said it ended how it started, mid. Also, I'm pissed off he decided to let the whole class take away Deku's and Uraraka moment. Lastly, why did it change from how I became the greatest hero to we became the greatest hero? Just hurt my nerves, honestly.
Ty, you can't crash out over every take that's negative.
I apologize, Ty.
Yo, this no, Miles, you're okay. But bro,
I'm in a camp for the last one though. I'm not going on.
I feel you. I hear you, but here's my thing. I don't think like his quirk is one for all. Like, bro, it is the power of friendship, and I love that shit. I think it's well done. I don't really see the like he said like because the reason why I don't have a problem with they're saying like what makes you a great hero is not your stats, it's about you reaching out. That's what the story is about. Deku, like what All Might said, Deku became a hero in chapter 1, a great hero in chapter 1, because he saved Bakura, because he reached out to help somebody. So they're saying that the reason why it's all of us, because they're saying that all of us, we all pitch in, we can all be the greatest hero. That's tough. Like I'm so like, what's the
not everyone likes the tie.
I feel you.
Narratively,
it makes sense, but you know
and then
what I'm
All
saying?
Might called him and Bakugo the greatest hero in the hospital. So like we know that he accomplished the goal. Like we know. So I'm just saying, like him saying now that it's kind of like once Ed got his alchemy, he's like, all right, now Kai figured out a way to impact the world. It's like we all can do something. I don't know, man.
So I agree with you, right? And narratively, it makes sense. It all ties together. But I think Ed was actually a good example of a person who kind of was for everyone with his power. But you also see a lot of protagonists where if you put Deku against them, they kind of step into their own and they can kind of take the full credit themselves. It's just something more rewarding about seeing that. Like I said, I don't think the Deku situation is bad. I just would have liked to see him be the one to kind of be able to bask in all of that glory. He's been about everyone for the whole series. When can he get his time for it to be all about me? That's what I was kind of looking for. It's selfish as fuck, but I would have liked to see it.
I hear you. I hear you. That makes sense. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying like why I liked it because like I feel like once we saw that 2-page spread of when all his class 1A helped out, and then he said we are here. Like again, it's changing the phrase is I'm here. The fact that when we saw all the heroes pull out those vortexes to come out and they said we are here, he's leaning to more of a inclusive conclusion with that. Mm-hmm. Like it's like we all pitched in together. He got the final punch. He got like I just man, listen, man. Deku be getting slandered like it's not you, Monster, but just in general, man. He be getting slandered crazy. Like, oh, Deku lied in chapter 1. I'm like, yo,
yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
So I also get your point, and for me, at the very least, I think the ending thing with like the heroes, we changed the hero system. I think that all makes so much sense. Like I'm completely with you of like the narrative, what they're trying to tell you about Hero Society. For me, and maybe it would require a reread because sometimes a reread does help you get some of the fine-tuned details. The impression for me is what encapsulated that the most was the Todoroki Endeavor storyline with like how Endeavor became so obsessed and everything that happened with Dabi and all that stuff. And people got to see how this type of structure created the villain. And I'm being honest, Bakugo being the person that was affected by Deku, but also being that person that showcased the most of I'm willing to help Deku the most. I think Deku, for me, and this is where I say maybe I should see, maybe if I do a reread, some of the little details will kind of pop out a little bit more. But I feel like Deku didn't embody that as much, considering he was the main character. He definitely embodied it, but I don't think it left the strongest impression that he was the driving force. Well, that's not the right way. He was the driving force considering he affected Bakugo and Class 1A. But I think him kind of relaying that message, vocalizing it more when it comes to his ideals, I think that would have left a stronger impression from my first read-through of Deku and this whole idea of being like a class, we are going to change Hero Society. I think if that left a stronger impression, I would be able to buy it more. But I feel like details outside of it sold it more than Deku himself. That's just me personally. Shout out Sauce because he's actually replying back to everything you're talking about. It just irks me, Ty. I understand, but damn, man, I give it a B, but it could have done more for me personally.
Also, listen, Sauce. Listen, when I crash
remember
out,
for 3 months, shout out Sauce. But continue.
Listen, when I crash out, I saw love, man. Don't let my yelling at random confuse y'all, man. I love random. I love all y'all. I'm just playing, but also like the idea. Random, I'm just joking.
Random stupid.
It was like,
I'm joking, random. I'm just talking about our Bakugo talks. They're so fun, but like
we won't have them. We'll have
even how it tied into like the reason why I also really like it because it ties into that great moment with that old lady, like her not saving Shigaraki was based on the idea of like All Might, him solely, the heroes themselves, they can do it. We are the greatest heroes is like all of us pitching. So even the old lady is a hero. She's a hero for reaching out. That's where the we is coming in. So it's like it ties in such a great plot point like that. Like the world won't have more Shigarakis when the heroes are not around because everyone's a great hero now. So
I think the story tells it beautifully, but for the people who say I wish Deku was like more that guy, I hear you. That's what I would say about it. And Pazu said it's a good ending, but so many things should have more time to breathe. Deku respect being the one fighting and beating Shigaraki. So yeah, there's a lot of problems. The end is a good ending, but should have gotten more.
wait, what do you mean about the Shigaraki thing?
I don't understand. And
maybe
Pazu, if you're in the
he got
chat, can you
one-shotted?
explain this message? Because I don't.
Maybe the
I
fact
don't
he got one-shotted. I don't know.
Deku respect being the one fighting,
One-shotted.
beating Shigaraki. So yeah, there's a lot of maybe I don't. Yeah, I don't. And Pazu, if you're in the chat, can you explain that? Because I didn't really get that either. Someone else said no. MT Papa. Okay, MTE. I don't know how to say your name. He said bad ending. Didn't give all the classmates a proper conclusion. I actually agree to that. Update on their characters. Didn't make it official with Uraraka. Lost his power, so he couldn't do what he truly wanted for a period. Just needed more.
First of all, hold on, Ty. First things first. There's too many characters, and I'm sorry. This not even. I'm not even talking shit about Mineta. What was Mineta's proper conclusion?
Bro,
What was the tail guy's proper conclusion?
Oh my god! Getting all the hoes. Getting all the hoes.
What was the
Like,
Invisible
their
Girl's proper conclusion?
And now people not like this. Most of those classmates' conclusions was them coming to help Deku. The We Are Here, them all pitching in. That was their character conclusion. Like, was it only people that you could say it wasn't? It was Bakugo, Todoroki, Uraraka out of the class, but everyone else's character conclusion was that.
It's a shame.
Like it did, like.
Momo should have got more.
But I don't need a side chapter. And then also when we have like their afterwards, like for example, Uravity, Uraraka, Froppy, and Uravity and Momo all like starting an initiative together, like stuff like that. We're getting informed of us knowing that Todoroki is wrestling the reins, Bakugo is still being here, Mirio. Like I agree. Like for example, y'all don't give a damn about that tail nigga, bro. Like y'all don't lie to me and tell me you wanted a chapter wrapping up his character. You don't. You don't want
to care, Ty. Of course I care.
You do not want to
According
get a
to the canon, he's the only one in an official relationship.
Y'all do not care that y'all didn't get an update on Sugar Rush. You don't care. Don't lie to me and pretend that you do. You don't.
Hold
up.
No,
you don't.
I don't think anybody's asking for a chapter, but it's just like one.
They don't care. They don't care. They
don't care what happened to Sugar Rush, Miles.
Do not lie to me. I lie. My phrase. Do not gaslight me and pretend you wanted to hear about the.
I care about everyone, Ty. I'm sorry.
Don't gaslight me.
Fake wokeism.
I do not want to hear about Sugar Rush. Don't lie to me and pretend that you do. You don't.
I agree. I don't.
I
personally don't care about Tail Dude or Sugar Rush, but for the most part, I would be interested to see what happened to the end of Tape Dude, Earphone Jack Girl,
Tape Dude.
Tape Dude. Tape Dude.
Tape Dude is crazy.
Man, what you
Tape Dude is crazy. You don't even know his real name?
Hey, I'll be honest. Tape Dude has a lot of good moments,
bro.
Not enough moments to memorize his name.
Hell
not
no.
even his hero name.
Zero, bro. That's what I'm saying, Miles. They don't care.
It's fake woke. They want to be mad about something, or they want to slight it for some reason.
Of course I care.
He didn't even get the weird panel like Kirishima. They said, "Yo, my boy is popular with the kids, with the male demographic." Right. We saw what's the dude Darkwing. He got like cologne. You see a little thing. They said, Tape Dude, you Gucci, bro. Tape Dude, you Gucci. This is where you gonna be at.
Y'all want to see what happened to everybody? Here we go. They're all heroes. They all help stop. All for one.
Trash.
And they all came out here. And matter of fact, their conclusion was helping pitching in to get Deku back to being a hero, which I thought was good. Y'all disagree? No,
bro. No.
Of course we don't disagree. I'm just saying they all matter, Ty. They all matter.
You don't care. What's his name? What's his name?
It doesn't matter. See, you're thinking.
You're right. It doesn't matter.
You're thinking too literal. You're thinking too literal.
I don't know names doesn't mean I don't care.
You don't care.
I don't know your mama's name, but she still matter. Mama Ty matters.
Real quick. Is that
Mama
Shinso
Ty
at the
matters.
top? Is that Shinso at the top? With
Is it?
I think so. Yeah, that's Shinso at the top with
and he missed Aizawa.
Yeah,
he
when
joined
Sensei
their
was
he joined their class, right?
Yeah.
Man, that's
my
crazy.
guy,
He didn't even
bro.
get a mention either. And Shinso's quirk is clean.
Bro,
Fake
I
wolf.
ain't gonna
Fake
lie.
Do we get
wolf.
an ending for Aizawa? Wait, not Aizawa. The guy that did his friend that does the teleports and stuff like that. Did that come?
Yeah,
to a
they
conclusion?
showed him in Present
Bro,
Mike, like
What was the
they
name?
go to his
Kumagiri?
grave.
Yeah, Kumagiri.
I
Yeah,
ain't gonna lie.
they
Do
go to
this
his
in any
grave
other
and they
series,
pray
bro?
in a
We
panel.
say
Okay.
random side character, like side character 15. Where's your conclude? Like stop. We don't do this for other story. Like cut it out, bro.
Yeah, but
And we never have.
hold on. That's an unfair comparison. Like if
Unfair.
it hold on, this
Why?
is why I'll explain. When it comes down to My Hero Academia, the whole thing was the fact that we are the greatest heroes, especially Class 1A. So even though I don't care about like a few of the characters, sure, but I don't think all of them needed it, but I did think more of them needed it. And it would be similar to like in Black Clover, like the ending of Black Clover. To expect the entire Black Bulls not to get a concluding sentence would be crazy. We expect all of the Black Bulls to get a
The
concluding
difference
But the
sentence.
Black Bulls, that's less
No,
members
no,
than
just
Class
because
1A.
I think
Class
I
1A
think
has like
just-
what, almost 20 people?
and not just that, we're
But
getting
I
confused. Like,
didn't say
just because
all,
they're in
I
Class
said
1A does not mean
more.
like the Black Bulls is different because the Black Bulls are in the main cast. A lot of people in Class 1A are not in the main cast.
They're
just
not.
It's the same way that a lot of Naruto's classmates are not in the main cast. Kiba is not in the main cast as his classmate. He's just not, right? Like he's literally not. Just because you have proximity to the MC does not make you the main cast. So yes, I would expect a conclusion from like a Magna, for example, because he is in the Black Bulls. So I expect like a great, crazy conclusion for Kiba because he's Naruto's fucking classmate. No, he's Naruto's fucking classmate.
Genuine question, Ty. Did we get enough from the overall story? Did we get enough from Ida?
Yeah. Like,
Oh, I forgot Ida existed. No.
Because like
After
he was
the
heavy,
run-in
like he was
with-
like a heavy character early on. Like he
I would
was,
have liked more from him.
yeah, he was
after the
very
run-in with
involved early on.
Dane,
But then I
the
feel like
first
he
time
kind
he
of
was
just tapered
done.
off.
He was done because he was set up pretty well to be somebody, and then he just fell right back. I also felt like Momo was set up to be somebody, and she fell right back with everybody else.
Yeah, I feel like Ida kind of like he still had important parts towards the end, but like in terms of like the amount of impact that he had in terms of like character development and like conversations, like he was right up there with like Bakugo and Todoroki and Uravity in terms of like how much they're involved in the story, and then eventually he just kind of tapered off. So that's why I'm not saying that like he's badly written or anything like that. I just felt like he could have been in the story more. So
hey, y'all like Tensei conclusion when we just found she owned the shop. This y'all needed that.
That's so nasty.
hey, it makes
No,
sense.
I'm
Hey,
asking
give
some
closure.
bullshit.
You give the closure. I know that she's not a hoe on the street after Neji died. I know that. So I feel nice about it.
Disgusting word.
I literally
Disgusting
hate y'all, bro. I just,
Ooh.
All right. Well, we got a couple more. So this is from the YouTube community post. He said Deku should not have lost One for All. In fact, he probably should have became even stronger and gained new order, like many fan theories thought.
What?
Wait, he
Well,
said
give
it
him
If he had
new
new
order.
order,
Can you repeat that?
what?
My thing is to what end?
If he had new order, there's no need for heroes anymore because he could just do everything.
Nah.
And that's where I disagree. People just wanted Deku to be overpowered for the sake of being overpowered. I find that to be
No,
stupid.
it's okay.
I
He is
agree.
not Sung Jinwoo. He is not Sung
Like,
Jinwoo.
No, so I would have. So hold on, real quick. What if?
I'm not
what
calling
if?
you stupid, sir. My fault.
Yeah. What if? Basically, Deku. I would have been okay if Deku had All for One, but he never passes it down. It just dies with him. Would you been okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, like it just dies with him because the one reason that All for One was or One for All was made is gone. So he doesn't need to.
I
pass
would
the
have been
power
okay
on
with like
anymore.
the last chapter. He finds someone out. He finds someone without a quirk that's like in a similar situation, and he passes it down.
So-
Like
but
again,
that would mean that would mean that would
Ooh,
mean
I just thought of something. Keep
I
going.
would have liked him navigating him in a reduced role, like him having less of the power, but still having it and seeing how he navigates that. I would have enjoyed that.
like
too.
if he just had the super strength
Agreed.
and
Yeah.
whatever.
That's what I
think
thought was gonna happen.
I think they because how technically very smart Deku, like you see it in the last panel when in the last chapter when he's talking to that kid and he's like, I have a really wimpy quirk, and he just starts being that rattling off. He's like, this is what you could do with your power, blah blah blah. I'm like, my boy's out here got the scouting report on him already. So I think having him be that way, if there is ever a sequel series where Deku's using more of his brain, and obviously you still have the reputation. This is the guy that beat All for One. This guy that beat Shigaraki. So they're always gonna kind of look at him differently. But if he's outsmarting people and he's like setting you up so that for instance, so that Tiger would be like, y'all saw my nigga Bakugo come in after Deku set him up with a perfect alley, like things like that. I think that would have been very interesting. But I probably would have liked if he just died with the power. If he's the last person to ever hold it. Because for me, the only time you'd ever use that power is if there's another big ass threat like that and the story has an established one. So I think that power is so strong at this point that it'll be maybe even too dangerous to pass it to somebody else, quirkless or unquirkless, because he's mastered that shit.
Actually, I'm not gonna say this is Riddell's headcanon because it's not really. I'm just throwing something out there. I'm not really putting a headcanon thing for at the moment. If My Hero got the sequel or gets a sequel, and they do Deku's kids and all that stuff, what would you all think about the idea that maybe the Embers did still exist into Deku, but he actually passes down the Ember to his kid, and the kid has one for all?
So my question is then,
I'm
how
good.
come?
How?
How come but then I'd be like, how come that's only happening now? Nana had a kid, presumably when she had one for all. And
Well, this is a unique situation.
But that would kind of mess up a lot of the lore, like how the power works.
Oh, you mean like in Boruto?
And then we were told that he had to be the last one with the quirk, so now he's just not. Like that would
the thematic principle, I agree. But I was just thinking about the idea of the Ember as Brandon was talking. I don't think it would happen. I don't even think we'll get a sequel, but it just.
I mean, I would like. I wish he kept the Ember and he just like one last chance, like All Might and Camino against All for One, and he just used it one last time, and then eventually, now the rest of the sequel series, he's just done. He doesn't have the power anymore. But if it's gone like that. Is it weird that I don't want to see his kids? I just want them as when they're older.
I don't want
Who does he have kids with?
We don't need a sequel. We don't
is
need
it the support chick?
If there's going to be a sequel, I want them when they're older. I just want them when they're older.
I agree, yeah. In like a more mentor style role. I wouldn't mind that at all.
And then maybe they have sidekicks or things like that, and then you work that way. I think that would be cool.
How would y'all feel about? And I thought this was announced going to be like a movie. How would y'all feel about a My Hero the Last type of thing? Like we see them like one last movie, like kind of Naruto the Last was. Like I feel like that'd be good. I wouldn't mind that.
I would like it. I don't
know if I want
a whole.
I don't want a whole series, but maybe like one little movie. Then we see Deku propose or something. Listen, I'd be down.
Hey, if that's how they finally, because technically at the end of, I might be spitting because at the end of Naruto, they didn't really officialize Naruto and Hinata. So
no, they did. The last episode, we see the wedding. The last episode,
not just that. Like the final chapter, we see him as Hokage, and we see Hinata, we see Boruto. And then we see Hinata.
I never read the manga, to be fair. So
yeah. No, the last chapter, like they kind of skipped towards the wedding. So
yeah.
Okay. So two more hot takes, and then we can do some of the final things. Lonnie had a question. We'll do the rankings. But this hot take is from Young Maki on the YouTube community post. He said, I think this is probably one of the most overhated endings to a manga I've ever seen because of the amount of misinterpretation I've seen on it.
Agreed.
The fact that he became a teacher is consistent with how much he
takes notes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not what it says. He took on Hero story and utilizes the quality, equating that to being a fast food worker. While funny, as people thinking that's basically what happened. I'd recommend reading the official release as of the final chapter because of some of the statements being misconstrued.
Not only that, there was a bad
translation. Do not blame my reading. Blame typing, all right?
Not only that, there was a bad translation that came out. A bad translation. One of the translators came out and said that Deku had not talked to his friends in 8 years. People are like, oh my god, they ghosted him. They go on hangouts without him for some reason. I'm like, bro, what are y'all talking about?
What did the officials say? What did
they people thought that his friend just ghosted him? Like people are saying My Hero is bad because he lost his quirk. His friend ghosted him. I'm like, bro, he said that we're adults, so it's hard to hang out. That doesn't mean that they haven't seen each other in 8 years. I was just like,
you really think Bakugo of all people would just ghost Deku?
Bro,
you really just think he'd just ghost him?
Yeah, it's nasty.
And then come back, hey man, I know we ghost you for 8 years, but here's an Iron Man suit. So can we be cool again? Like Bakugo of all people, or Rock. Ida has super speed. He can go see the nigga with it every time he wants. You just run over to him. Like, come on, fellas. Come on.
All right, last one. This is 2 technically hot takes from one person. Claudio, it's from you if you're still in the chat. They said, but Deku becoming a teacher and losing One for All, it was stupid. Because in the first chapter of the manga, it stated that this is the story of how Deku became a great hero. But now I'm going to give my hot take. This is the second part. But now I'm going to give my hot take. I think this war arc would be better if some students / heroes had died.
So, yo,
he is the greatest
No
hero.
crap.
I
out
would say,
there.
I would
He saved
say,
the
bro,
world, fellas. He picked everybody. He saved the
did
world.
he not beat?
I do
saved
get
the
the whole
world.
I do get the whole death impact thing that it is a trend in like a lot of manga nowadays. Do I think it could have like it would have been like a positive in a way in some of the story, like because for instance, hey, like I said, Ida kind of tapered off. If Ida died, that would have still been very impactful to everybody else. That would have been like, oh shit, they killed Ida. But like, not saying that he needed to die or anything like that. But like, I kind of get what you're saying. I disagree with the first half of his hot take because he is still like, if you read the context of everything, you see why he said he's the greatest hero. But no, the whole death thing that people have been complaining about, I get it. I don't necessarily agree with it with My Hero. Like there are cases where I think like people could have died, but I don't think it was like a turning point or change or anything like that.
Bro, our Deku being KD comparison is spot on. Like
he's KD.
Not
he
KD.
really is KD.
How is he not KD?
He's not KD.
That was
The greatest hero
is Steph Curry.
are the
Bakugo is
Golden
Steph
State
Curry.
Warriors.
Todoroki is Draymond.
Oh, you're saying Bakugo is more important to My Hero Academia than Deku?
No, what?
I didn't say
Why
that.
are you calling Bakugo?
No,
do you guys
KD
Is
won Finals
Deku not
MVP.
Braun?
What you mean?
Is Deku not Braun? Bakugo's like Flash 06 Wade.
No.
And
All Might.
Todoroki could be Bosch.
All Might is LeBron. We already had this conversation. All Might's LeBron. Deku is KD.
Deku's the man himself. Look at that forehead. Wow.
Deku is KD. Deku is, and that's not a knock either.
KD. We legitimately
He didn't do it by himself. KD still won Finals
Most
MVP.
basketball players can't do it by themselves.
Yeah,
so then
but he still won
everybody.
Finals MVP. LeBron.
Hold on.
Are we
LeBron's
still
the
doing
one
Let's Get
guy.
Negative?
That's why LeBron is All Might. That's why LeBron is All Might.
Lonnie,
Like
Lonnie, random pause. J-Rob, it's
What's
been
good, bro?
a minute since you've been on the BSS.
What's good,
channel.
fellas? Captains, how y'all
Address-
Have you
doing?
back, my boy.
Address the people.
What's good, y'all? It's been a minute. I've been having some family stuff going on, so I've been away for a while. I miss y'all. I'm happy to be back. You definitely just know I still been in my scriptures. I still been watching my anime. You know, that's always going to be an escape for me. So I got some takes. I got some stuff that I definitely want to talk about. There's a lot of things that's definitely cooking, some things that are not cooking right now. And so, yeah, let's get into it, boys. I'm glad to be back. Let's get me up to speed.
Well,
Right
right
calling
now,
Deku KD right now, and I
now,
refuse
like,
to stand for it.
I think it was like a few weeks ago, J-Rob, we were talking about Deku, Bakugo, and like their roles and stuff like that. We were saying, I think me, Ty, Miles, I think Miles was there. We were saying how like All Might, how he basically had to beat all four of them by himself. Like he had to do it all by himself, basically. So we said like he's like LeBron. But Deku, he's still great, but like he had a lot of help. He had Bakugo. He had Todoroki. He had a squad. So it was like, yo, they're like the Warriors. Like, so Deku's like KD, Bakugo's like Curry, Todoroki, Draymond.
Can I add this caveat? Are we not going to do error attacks? We did learn that these quirks. We did learn that these quirks got more powerful over time. So Deku's version of having to deal with One for All is a little bit different than when All Might was.
True.
True. I don't know. I'm not trying to say who's LeBron. Who's this,
I don't disagree with you, J-Rob. I don't disagree
we
with
could
you,
argue.
J-Rob.
We could argue that the stronger version of is
needed some more help.
Well, I have a question for J-Rob.
He probably needed more help.
That's all I'm saying. And me and Miles said it. Deku did the one thing All Might couldn't do.
LeBron and Jordan needed help.
Talk about. See, that's where you're wrong, random. But I'm gonna ask J-Rob a question.
Is All Might a threat anymore? It's
hold on a second.
all for one a
Time out.
threat anymore.
I want to ask J-Rob a question. J-Rob, so you remember when
You notice how
Baco-
he's not answering my
Hold on.
question, Bob.
I listen. I should ask J-Rob a question.
just
J-Rob. So you remember when Baco was trying to plus through off one, he couldn't do it, and then Baco came in clutch. Did Bakugo in that moment save Deku's legacy? I think he did. I think he saved his legacy.
I mean,
Because
I
if you don't-
random. Answer the question.
I mean, to answer that
crazy.
question, I mean, Bakugo's been saving more than Deku's legacy. He's saving the show's legacy. You feel me?
This is
He's
crazy.
doing the
You're not
Lord's
saying
work.
that. You're not saying they're
Bakugo-
wrong though, random. You're not saying that they're wrong.
Bakugo been doing the Lord's work. I don't know if y'all been watching these episodes. I mean, this man, he's the new hotness for real. He is the new hotness.
The disrespect. Like if Deku wasn't holding Shigaraki's hands from touching the ground, everything's over.
Yeah,
The
everybody
story
has
is
over.
Hands good.
No.
Hey, listen,
What do you mean,
everybody
okay?
everybody has a
Lonnie,
role
the
to play.
story's over.
Yeah,
Everybody's
like,
dead.
everybody has a
He
role.
held somebody's hands.
Yeah,
You said a good job.
random. Let's be very clear. Bakugo had to stop All Might, which I mean, All for One, because All for One was coming to Shigaraki. That was huge.
It was gonna pack
All
him.
Might
They
had
gonna
to
jump him
stop.
and pack him up.
Okay,
Fact,
let's pretend
fact,
like
fact.
Bakugo
Todoroki,
didn't. Hold on.
Todoroki had to
Y'all are
stop
taxing
Dobby
Deku.
from
No.
exploding
Y'all are
and killing
taxing Deku
all
for
the
doing
people.
it. Y'all are taxing Deku for not doing it by himself. Let's not pretend like every single moment that All for One was getting towards Shigaraki, he literally had to go through somebody. Bakugo was just the last one. Like we saw All Might put an Iron Man suit on and fight the nigga. Like what are we talking about? Like what are we talking about?
Now Deku's the new Iron Man.
Hold on a second. Time out. Hold on a second. The reason
Yo,
why,
brother.
hold on a second. The reason why
You
Deku
be
gets more
quiet.
attacks is because Deku has the greatest quirk of all time. Listen. It's like
You
yeah,
only had it for 6 months.
Listen. Not only does he have his classmates, he got vestiges. He got so much help, and I love Deku for that. Get all the help you need.
Do you know what's also aura?
Just don't
It took
forget,
All
right?
Might like a few
All Might
chapters to
didn't
get
have
that Iron Man.
vestiges.
You just never used them. You just
He
never
just-
used them.
It took All Might like a few
Just
months
was
to
there
get that
when All
Iron Man
Might had it, he
armor. It
just
took
never used
Deku 8 years. There's levels to this.
All right, before we go too deep into
What?
it, hold on.
Lonnie, what?
Hold on.
Lonnie,
Before we go too deep into this, J-Rob, we all already talked about the ending. We already gave our thoughts about the ending. There's disagreements, there's agreements, there's a lot of pros and cons. We went through hot takes. Now, J-Rob, you can cap this opinion train off. How did you feel about the ending of My Hero Academia?
damn.
Lackluster at the end of that fight.
I knew it.
Lackluster at the end of that fight, man. Lackluster, like
I knew it.
yo, this was one of those things where, listen, fellas, I wanted to be all in. I wanted to be on board. I got the feels. I get the emotion. I get the principle. I just personally still feel like that. There's just something that leads to be desired. Like I feel like with the end of My Hero, there was still something that I was just waiting to see at the end that I just did not get. I guess I love the epilogue in terms of like seeing where everybody went with their lives and things of that nature. I might be with random. I wish I would have got a kiss out of Midoriya and Uraka, maybe a little something, to spice the romance up at the end. You feel me?
I agree. No,
I mean, I just feel like the closure I got, and this is why I hope Iron Coup is, we get a little bit of art with an Iron Coup movie, because Iron Coup, I want to see what he does, because I just need to see at least something to just like, we need like a Naruto the Last movie type of thing with My Hero.
I literally was just talking about that.
And if we get that, I'm all good with it. You feel me? But just I hate to be that person. I wanted a boxing match between Shigaraki and Deku. I needed a squabble. I did need the squabble, and truthfully, at the
I would have
end,
liked that.
yeah, just something.
J-Rob, even if it was inconclusive and they didn't show us the outcome, I would have liked if they
I would have
set
been
that
fine
up.
with that.
Yeah, I would have
Yeah.
liked if they set that up. I do agree with
Just
that.
for something a little bit more. Yeah, I just feel like just a little bit more of a squabble. Like, I don't know. Like, I understand it was like, they were fighting amongst like a war. If you go back to like the Naruto Shippuden War, but it definitely didn't feel like they really squabbled at the end. Like, we didn't get the big fight, and maybe that's us just being so, being so common to shonen anime. So we assume that, and then I'd probably say in the epilogue, I mean, why is Dobby in a cage? if y'all don't kill that boy and send him to
gonna
his, well, why even keep
dying.
him alive? And that's my point. The boy is literally a living piece of coal. Like, what are we doing with? What are we doing? What I feel more bad that Dobby has to exist in a cage, burnt to a crisp, talking about sober with his family about things that he'll never ever get to do in life. And you want me to sit here and believe, as I'm fried in a bubble, that all these conversations about all our interests and the things that we wish we got to speak about is going to make me. They should have gave him a hug, and he should have just disintegrated into ash and got to go into heaven or hell, wherever he was going to go, and get into the afterlife. I didn't really love that.
Hell no.
I didn't really. Yeah, he's going to hell.
He's going to hell.
Sending my hero.
You know, I just
crazy.
and
But
I saw
Toga
this.
So
Toga died, but I did see something too that I do agree with. Somebody said, "Which one of your hottest anime takes?" I saw this on TikTok, and they said essentially one of their biggest issues with My Hero is Horikoshi not having the balls to unalive more of like significant characters. And I don't know if I felt fully that way, but I do think some characters probably could have went.
I do feel that way. I do feel
only
that way.
Like Dobby could have went. He could have gone, bro.
The guy that gave Bakugo a new heart could have went, but
And I just want to say, Miles, that me saying people had to go wasn't it wasn't confined to just heroes. I want to make sure I say that too.
Yeah, cool. I'm fine with more villains going. The heroes, my only problem with people on the side of good dying is that in other stories, they're usually used as a motivator, right? They die to motivate someone else to ascend and step up. I don't feel like any death on the hero side in My Hero Academia would have served as the catalyst to make someone motivated to do more.
Right.
Except one. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm fine with no deaths on the hero side. Now the villains.
Come on, bro. I think a lot of them should have. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
and a lot of these people are like murderers, killed people. Like these are murder, like criminals, bro. Like real deal.
But only ones alive are Spinner and Dobby. Everyone else dead.
And that's my problem. They all should be gone.
The only one by the end of the series is probably still alive.
I think Spinner can be rehabilitated. He could stay around.
Spinner.
I mean, he ended up writing the book. I feel
like
Spinner out of here.
Real quick. Side note.
Spinner died so my boy Tentacle could pass the legacy on the right way. Bro was killing people. They're not good people. Look. I want to keep it a beam. I get it that a lot of these Toga, all these characters went through real traumas in their lives and not justify. But I can't justify some of their actions. I think the villain going out in their blood to their grave. I think it hit a little bit harder. Did he?
All right. Well, the last thing I want to do in terms of the ending of My Hero, and then Lonnie will ask his question, is someone suggested it in the chat. I thought it was a really good idea, so we'll do this as a group. What do we think the current My Hero Academia hero rankings are based off what we know from the final chapter of the manga? So right off rip, we know right now Mirio is number one. He's the number one ranked hero as of right now. So we'll do it to top 10. We'll discuss it. As of right now, who do we think? Not who do we want. Who do we think is like number two? Obviously, we have very little evidence, but
it's probably Todoroki. I think
he's behind Bakugo right now.
I think Bakugo.
Yeah, he's like right now. He's behind Bakugo.
Didn't they mention in that final chapter about like how he interacted with he interacted with like fans and peers and stuff?
Yeah, but they said that he's gonna probably. They said that based on this, he's gonna drop again. So they're saying like, Torok might surpass. We know that Toroki's behind him, so I would think that he's probably in the top 5.
So they mentioned Kamui Woods and Mount Lady. So I think those above those two. I think those two are still above Bakugo and Todoroki.
No, they're not. The Todoroki and Bakugo surpass both of them.
I'm gonna be honest.
Where does it say that in the
Sun Eater? Got to be over both of them too,
and the other girl too.
Sun Eater,
because they said that
Sun Eater has one of the best quirks, bro. By far.
Well, they also Deku mentions it that the other two members that roll with Mirio, they're stepping their game up too, to the point that Mirio said, "I'm shaking in my boots." So,
my bad, random, my bad. He said Mirio surpassed both of them.
Yeah. So I think number one is Mirio. Then you could so for me, it'd be number 1 is Mirio. Then you could flip flop Kamui Woods and Mount Lady. Then I will probably say, since Deku says that out of his own mouth, I think Monoma, so Sun Eater and the girl from them, they're next, and then probably Bakugo and Todoroki, and then whoever you want at 5. Whoever's left.
Okay, so that's
Whoever's
not
left.
I would probably add that other. Oh, go ahead.
No. I'm saying we got to like 7, so there'll just be like 3 more.
So,
3, I would probably say Tokoyami.
I was gonna say Uraraka, Froppy, and Momo, because we know like we actually got like explicit details on there, like working.
And Genium was part of that too. And Genium was part of that too.
I think Red Riot's probably in the top 10.
Red Riot probably because he's
probably.
very popular with the kids.
For the popular vote, yeah.
He got the
Riot
popular
might be
vote. Red Riot.
But also consider their personality, how much they help the community, all that stuff too.
Well, they literally say he's
Dark
chivalrous.
Shadow is not making top 10. Hawks is pupil.
I mean, my boy got his own cologne, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
He do got his own cologne. He
got his own cologne. He
got his
living.
own cologne. He's fire right now.
Just to piss random off though, I'm putting Mineta at 10.
Where? In the weird case department?
Weird.
But
Hey,
wait. Time out. You know who else we forgetting about though?
Did the rabbit chick die?
What's my
No,
she didn't.
no, she's not. She got more.
She's an amputee.
That's crazy. He's
What's
right.
up?
Y'all don't think she's still active?
I think she.
No,
I think
she's
she is.
active. Oh, she's
But
up there
no,
too.
But
She's definitely still active.
what's my dog from the other school who had to win? Because remember, he was
He's
one of the
nice.
He's not top 10. Because
He's raw.
The one that didn't like
wasn't he
Todoroki,
recommendations like Todoroki? It was him and Todoroki who scored the highest to get into the schools. Yeah, like he might have to be top 10 too, bro. Like,
all right,
relevant. Yeah, he's definitely relevant.
Facts. He's relevant.
I actually was hoping we got something from him at the end as well. So, all right.
We didn't
So
even
number
touch the other
one,
school at
I
all.
forgot about him. I thought he was gonna be
He
important.
was dumb nice.
number
He was-
one,
he
we
was
got
raw.
Mirio. Number 2, Kamui Woods. Number 3,
Mhm.
Mountain Lady. Number 4, Sun Eater.
I would actually put the amputee in front of both of them.
Miracle?
Not
You put
over
Miracle?
Sun Eater right now.
You put Miracle above Sun Eater?
If Mirio said that Sun Eater and his other partner were on his heels, I think they should be higher than her.
Yeah, you gotta.
And plus, she's clearly not at 100% with her having the prosthetics and everything.
And I also want to say this too. Mirio himself even acknowledged that Sun Eater is the strongest of the 3 of them in terms of the quirk, bro.
I mean, I'm cool with it. It's fine. I just think she deserves to be in the top 10. She still
All right.
deserves, if she's
I
still
don't-
active with 3 limbs gone.
Yeah, but she's
Respect.
also like
No
she
amputee
was-
could be top 10, bro.
Yeah,
She was putting in work with 2 during the
Nah,
war.
she
What are
was,
you talking
but-
about?
But bro, her stipulation, she needs a support hero by her to give her more amputee. parts
Deku
when
about
they
to
get
make
baked
top
off.
10 the minute he saves somebody, and he got a whole Iron Man suit on.
You mean Iron Cool?
Yeah, Iron Cool. He about to be top 10 the minute he does anything heroic.
Also,
Like,
Miracle
they
got
gave my
a
son
really
a Iron Man
aggressive
suit. I'm sick about
personality
that.
too. Miracle is not a friendly person, so that's also
Real quick, not to cut you off, Riddell.
But she
so
was top 3 in her heyday, though. So
But now the rankings change, so like
the
they take-
rankings
I still
change.
think she's
But
top
I was
10.
looking at the
Man.
poll. I was looking at the poll numbers, guys, and we have like 34 people that commented on the poll, but we only have 18 likes. My niggas, if y'all don't like the damn video,
Like
I
the
will
video.
jump through the screen and take the fruit snacks out your mama's
Wait, hold on.
cabinet.
You know
Like,
who else we
don't try me.
You know who else we
Damn.
missing out on too from the young bulls? What's my slime who's making earthquakes like Whitebeard? He's not in the mix, bro. I can't remember his name, bro. He had like the green
Cementos?
costume. No, he had a
No.
green costume. They met during the provisional exams. God damn it. Hold on.
See, I
I
thought
know-
Ron was
I know
not
you're
top
talking
10.
about
We
the
can't
Copy guy.
remember
I
who
thought
he
you were
is.
going to talk about the copy guy.
But,
'cause I could see him.
okay, all right. So we have up to 7 right now. So Mirio 1, Kamui 2, Mount Lady
Yoshindo.
3, Sun Eater 4, Nezure 5, Bakugo 6, Todoroki 7, 8, 9, 10.
I think Miracle, if she's still,
Well,
if
we said
she's
the win
still,
guy.
if Mirko's still
Oh,
active, she's in the top 10. I think.
Not
Wait,
with
still
the,
active.
not as an amputee. I'm not
Did
jacking
you?
Miracle.
She wasn't
Yeah, I
in the
don't
top 10
think-
when she had
She
2
has-
limbs gone.
She has no leg and both her arms are gone.
but she
has
got
one good leg.
prosthetics. She got prosthetics. There's no way she just sits this out after
No.
everything.
What
Yeah,
about
yes,
Gravity?
she should
What about
sit it out.
Uraraka? I
What
thought
about-
Uraraka.
Top 10. What about Best Genius? Do we think he's still in the top 10?
Oh, if he's still
That's
doing
genius.
her
He's
work,
still- he's still-
yeah,
he's still-
He's
I
still
mean,
doing his thing.
And do you think the
still
dude who's
doing her
Bob
work.
goes hard? If he's back to normal in 8 years, is he?
Nah,
in the
I
top
think
10?
he's been he's still got to build up that
What
resume.
about the girl that like Todoroki, the one that can like create shit?
Nah,
I
she's
think
not top 10.
Momo,
I think
no.
she would. I think she would
She's
be.
not. She's not
Nope.
top 10. She's damn near a support hero. Just to be honest with you.
She's not wrong.
All right, so let's agree on number 8. So
Am I lying?
what are some of the popular picks? So we got Wind Dude. Let me try to figure out his name. I forget his name.
It's crazy. We
I
don't.
think
We
it's
didn't
like
see nothing.
I don't mind
Something
Uravity
something.
being like 8, 9, or
Yeah,
10.
I would say Uraka.
Only one I'm fighting for hard is Tokoyami.
Well, I'll say what can't be Uravity, Tokuyami, and then Kirishima as a round out the top 10.
I'll be fine with that actually.
Over Best Genius?
Or let's do Red Riot at 10.
Yeah,
I can do
Kirishima.
I can do Red. I can do Red Right. It's been how many years it's been though?
8 years. I don't think Best Genius.
Yeah, Best Genius out of his prime.
think
Miracle
he's been
out of their
surpassed.
prime.
I think he's
yeah,
been
out of
you
their
you
prime.
have
There is a- I still-
Uraka, Kirishima.
Come on, these guys are out of their prime.
Tokuyami.
Kirishima,
But Kami
Tokuyami.
Woods and Mount Lady are still up there.
But they
But
were
they were
young when
They
they
were young.
started.
They were in their early 20s. They had
Yeah,
just
I
graduated.
think they said
were,
that Mount Lady was like new when she got in.
She was
They were-
literally in the
they
end. She
were
wasn't
rookies.
in the
Bro,
year.
they're
were
literally in
rookies,
their
remember?
prime
They were
right now.
rookies
They're
when
literally
they
in their
first
prime
started.
right now.
Yeah,
Like
Oh.
still being heroes.
So the Wind Dude's name is Inasa.
I'm good on
Nasa.
him. I'm good on
You
him.
don't got to
now.
put him in, but he definitely at least a top 15.
I think
20 hero.
he's raw, but we didn't really get to see more than like.
Facts. I'm fine with that too.
Which I think is a fumble.
But there are some other quirks
I don't
that were
care about
kinda
these
crazy
people,
that
bro.
didn't really get enough
I don't
love.
care about his quirk.
I cared about him. He was dope. He was actually
My
dope.
Potential of
I
the
don't care about him
Bro,
at all. I care
My
about
son
his
from
quirk.
Class B with the mud.
like
his,
Inasa. I
his
thought it
joint
was
was kind of
cool.
fire too.
What about Shoji? Because Shoji's been doing a lot for the mutants.
Ooh, Shoji,
his
yeah,
name is
Shoji.
huge right now.
He might be top 10. He's
Like,
out here
he
literally
is
fighting
being
racism,
really
bro.
influential.
As a symbol, sure, yeah. As a symbol,
Yeah,
He's fighting
he might-
racism right now, bro.
See, the thing is, are we ranking when we do the hero rankings? Are we ranking based off who we feel like based off power, or are we doing like how we think they're also
It's
stacking up to
comprehensive now.
society? Because you know what I'm saying,
Well,
like how
both
their
matter.
popularity.
It both
no, that's
now.
what I'm asking.
Yeah.
And
That's what I'm
they've
asking.
changed up the hero rankings. I think both of those matter. So while
Yeah.
Choji is not the strongest, what he's legitimately doing may matter more than
as
a lot
an
more people.
activist. He's an
Yeah.
activist.
My boy, hey man.
So
it was down
He
to
might be-
somebody
I
fight
might
racism.
have to. I would be kind of cool if you took out Tokoyami for Tentacle, but if we're talking about the political part of it too, because he is literally the poster boy of
Wait, did he get a
heteromorph racism in the
Yeah.
verse.
Honorable mention Deku. We gotta wait for him to save somebody that he's in the top 10.
Deku's a fraud.
Okay, so number 8, Uraka.
I had Kaminari and Kirishima mixed up. So
Kaminari got a strong ass quirk too.
I
be
just wish
honest.
he did more in the story. So
he's
number
just,
9.
he's dumb. He's just
Yeah.
dumb.
Nah,
bro.
he is.
So number 9, Kirishima or Shoji or Tokiyami.
Oh, Danto just put one in here too. Shinso with the
We didn't get
brainwash.
nothing for Shinso at all, other
This
than that
shit
last
powerful,
image.
bro.
I feel like
Let's learn how to
Shinzo probably
change-
did a lot of stuff, but Ayama was super strong, but he was never ranked, so it's probably
How
Shinzo.
you? Shinso though with that brainwash, like that's
Aizawa,
I don't
I mean.
know, bro. Nah, I mean, true. Some of these guys probably top 20.
I'd probably
for
go
sure.
Kirishima, Riddell for was it 8 or 9? I go Kirishima because they really went out their way to say this guy is absurdly popular with kids in the male demographic. So I think that's definitely, and they call him they like check
Red
out his
Riot?
story and how the chivalrous hero, like, so they really spent some time with that. So I do
Stoic,
that, and then I
man.
do Shoji. I'm always gonna support the brother fighting racism.
Yeah, I could rock with Shoji being in the top 10 too. If we always talking about the totality of what their impacts are.
Okay.
That's my boy Young Malcolm X.
All right.
Sorry, his fit clean too.
So right now we have Mario, Kami Woods, Mount Lady, Sun Eater, Nejire, Bakugo, Todoroki, Uraraka, Kirishima, Shoji. We cool with that 10? Any replacements?
I'm cool with it.
I'm cool with it.
All right, let me
That's fine.
announce it so we can create a clip from it. All right. Based off the ending of My Hero Academia, this is who we think are the current. All right, let me do that again. You know, it's fine. It's fine. You guys get to see what it means to record videos live, right? We also read that super chat in a second. Based off the ending of My Hero Academia, this is who we think are the current top 10 heroes in the My Hero Academia universe. Number 1, Mirio. Number 2, Kamui Woods. Number 3, Mount Lady. Number 4, Sun Eater. Number 5, Nejire. Number 6, people call him the GOAT, Bakugo. Number 7, Todoroki. Number 8, Uranka. Number 9, Kirishima. And number 10, Shoji, especially considering what everything he's doing for Mutant Con right now. W.
What's up?
Super chat. Kai, hot take. Kaminari is the biggest letdown in Class 1A since when are lightning users useless in fighting?
My man Eno, come on.
But and also chill. Kaminari had to charge the coffin in the sky. Bro was working overtime.
Facts.
Imagine being a battery.
Come on, bro. He's a battery.
He was frying his brain cells. He was getting fried.
My boy was seeing the vision.
Bro got years of mental CTE for the fight, bro. My guy is suffering from CTE, so chill on Kaminari, bro.
AB level CTE.
Human battery.
He the AB of MHA.
Yo, he did what J-Rob wants them to do to the Mappa workers. Like,
They made my son a whole battery, yo. Oh my god, bro. They say you can't turn off, bro. Like
yo, you ain't clocking out.
Yeah, like if you turn off, we're doomed.
Here's a Red Bull.
Harry, do your work immediately, please.
They said, "Here's a Red Bull. Lock in."
They reduced him to a battery. Nah, that battery powered the coffin.
Yeah, that was he was very useful.
He was the best battery we've ever seen.
He was the battery.
And hold on, Kai, real quick question: How do you think they should have used him? What, you wanted him to be throwing hands in the fight? That's not how his quirk worked either.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Bro don't even really fight because he shoot discs at people. Like he don't even really be. He got no combat like that. Bro, shooting a disc shooter out of his
not his game. Yeah, that's not
for
his
me.
game.
I don't care. I don't care what nobody says. If you got lightning powers, I need you to be filthy. I'm be honest. If you got electricity powers, I need you to be him.
All right, so don't charge the battery. Don't charge the battery. We'll decay everything.
No, I mean from the start, when Kaminari was initially introduced, I thought he was going to be something, but then he kept on just being.
I knew he wasn't
an idiot.
Yeah, man, you saw how they
like Riddell. I usually like akin like lightning users to badasses, and he just wasn't them. So I was just like,
when they established him as dumb, I expected nothing of him. From that
I
point
thought
on,
they were going to do something where they're like, oh, maybe we can give you a tool so your brain is not fried. No.
Yeah, I thought it was like, okay, if he's dumb, he's gonna be dumb, but he's gonna be like,
there's not enough Adderall. There's not enough Adderall in the verse to get him right. Yeah, there's not enough Adderall in this
CTE device for sure.
Right, bro.
Also, shout out everybody who voted on the poll. So I put a poll out there. How do we feel about the ending of MHA? 47% said it was good, and 47% said it was mid.
Don't end it so I can sway the good.
49% said mid.
49 said mid. Okay, you're swinging in the other direction.
It's okay, but mid is not necessarily bad, Ty. Mid is not.
I didn't say y'all say it was bad. I just think mid is crazy, man.
Oh, so actually, let's do this.
Bakugo had a great ending. That's all that matters.
This actually goes to my. This goes to my thing.
Bakugo had a good ending.
Speaking of Bakugo, J-Rob, I'm glad you're back, man. A lot of nasty stuff going on last week, and when we get to that, bro, I got some smoke for a couple people on this panel, man. That's all I'm saying.
People. I'm innocent.
Lord.
All right, but
no,
anyway.
Lonnie, you're part of it. You're part of it.
All right, anyway,
y'all are good.
Because let me tell you something, J-Rob. When I heard voice in my head said read your scriptures. I was like, it's just J-Rob just tell me read your scriptures. I'm like, oh my god. So I went back and I was like, wow, you know.
No, I think I told J-Rob this. I think I told J-Rob, I was like, yeah.
Because I did nasty last week.
Listen. When we get to Let's Get Negative, are we doing Let's Get Negative right now? Because I can get negative right now.
I have a topic first.
Yeah, Lonnie over
to.
Okay. So, I mean, this is probably gonna piss Ty off even more. But I was going through like all the new gen that like ended and stuff like that, and so looking back, it's just gonna be a gauntlet before Miles Gauntlet. So we're just gonna do new gen. Like, what would you rather? Which is like the better ending? So first up, My Hero's last chapter or Demon Slayer?
My Hero.
I
don't even gotta think about it.
Last chapter or ending? This is different.
I mean, you guys want to do last chapter? Or you want to do ending?
Let me just say ending, I guess.
Just say
ending.
So the ending of Demon Slayer or the ending of My Hero?
My Hero.
Yeah, I'll go the ending of My Hero. I like Demon Slayer's last chapter more, but the ending I like My Hero more.
I'll go to end of Demon Slayer for me personally.
You was really feeling the giant baby? Birth of the Sun.
I'm really feeling hands.
They did.
The tentacle monster hands.
I don't care what it is.
You lame. you know Muzan was lame, bro.
He was lame for turning into that big ass baby.
Muzan was lame. That was a lame final. That might have been the lamest final villain I've seen in like an anime.
Muzan definitely had a little. You could have did a little more.
He's.
I'll go with the peer pressure.
Notable about to turn that man into a demon. They about to do a lot of carry work.
I just wasn't happy that I just didn't feel how I wanted to feel about My Hero at the end, and that's what was annoying me. And that's really
there's four.
But it was good. It was written well, so it was written well.
Oh, at least we got the all the ending relationship for Demon Slayer, all of their conclusions. We got to see the future. Yeah, I liked all that stuff. So, but My Hero is better.
Next up, the ending of My Hero or the ending of Solo Leveling.
Haven't finished
Solo Leveling.
Solo Leveling.
I haven't seen Solo Leveling, but what I heard about it, I don't know. I'm going My Hero. From what I was told.
Oh man, I've read Solo Leveling.
I'm gonna say Solo.
Was it just more Sun Jin-woo glaze?
Yep.
Sure. But also
My Hero.
He's glazed the whole show though. He's glazed.
I'm going with my.
Let's not pretend like this glaze is new. They glazed every chapter.
I'll go.
I'm also adding the epilogue onto that. The little epilogue thing they did with
I'll go My Hero because it was just written a little bit better. It's just the complexity was better.
Ending of My Hero, the ending of Hell's Paradise.
Hell's Paradise.
I have
Hell's Paradise. I don't care.
For me, I have some issues with the ending of Hell's Paradise, but I still liked it more. I liked the ending of Hell's Paradise more. I'm gonna go ahead.
It was just more feel good. It did something to your heart at the end, bro. It was righteous to me.
It's just one of the turns was just like, really? Okay.
Yeah. I feel you.
All right, we got three more. So, ending of My Hero or the ending of Fire Force.
Fire Force. I really like that ending of
Fire Force.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ending of My Hero or the ending of Chainsaw Man Part 1.
Chainsaw.
Yeah, Chainsaw.
I don't even think it's a debate.
You talking about the first season of Chainsaw?
The first part.
Yeah, the first half.
I got My Hero.
Damn.
What?
That was a crazy ass ending.
What?
You find out
That's better than ending of Part 1 with Makima and all that?
I think they're both great.
Makima kind of snapped too.
That's crazy to me.
I got Chainsaw.
All right, and the last one is
I'm gonna go MHA for that one.
Yeah, that's insane to me. Ending of My Hero, the ending of AOT.
AOT.
I got AOT.
You already know what it is. You already know what it is.
Why are we even asking that?
Why are we even asking?
It was the last New Jedi Confide.
I don't even think MHA don't even deserve to be in the same.
This is
It's just the new gen that ended so far.
It can never be an S+ tier anime. You will never touch S+ tier, bro. I'm sorry. It'll always be A+ to S that area. Will not be in that goated tier.
Man.
AOT is with One Piece, Dragon Ball Z in there. It's quiet for MHA.
Right, yeah, that's the end of the list. I'm really surprised people said the ending of My Hero is better than ending of Part 1 of Chainsaw Man. That's crazy to me, but each of them.
AOT cool, but it's not my goal. You're just too young, Dad. You gotta graduate college. Your brain not there yet. You gotta get to like 26. We have frontal lobe is fully developed.
He said, "Wait till your brain."
When you get to 26 and you watch the game, you'll be like, "I see what J. Rob was talking about."
All right, so let me ask you guys: do you guys want to go into agenda? Do you guys want to go into agenda hour where we're going to talk about the One Piece JJK chapter next, or do we want to get into Let's Get Negative? What do you want to do next?
I want Ty to get negative.
I want Let's Get Negative.
Let him host the show.
Are we going to do both though?
Hold on. I got you. No, we're going to do both. I just wanted to say, what are we doing next?
Oh yeah, let's get negative. Come on.
All right, so
I got mine.
Get
I want Miles to go first. Just
because I
got some documents.
Yeah,
he says.
Mine is pure unadulterated hate and disgust for the agenda piece. Listen, this is a target. I'm not mad at Garp. There was a great episode that aired. I'm not mad at Garp. He didn't do nothing wrong. except use his powers. I am mad at Funimation and their activity in pushing certain agendas forward and then holding other characters back. I think it's nasty work because like I said, the Garp episode, it was beautiful, animated perfectly, it looked nice, it was hype, it was cool. That nigga Garp was not doing all of that shit that y'all showed in that episode. He wasn't. He wasn't. I'll let y'all get away with Aokiji. I'll let y'all get away with Van Auger. I'll let y'all get away with Ho and my nigga Kainu. I'll let y'all go and go and go. But what I just saw last week with him vaporizing that entire Hachinoso Island, y'all pushing it too far. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. Y'all had the whole galaxy appear in the background. He didn't do none of that. Stop it. Because now when I'm in these One Piece spaces and I'm trying to have actual convos, I gotta hear people glazing because they watched the anime episode that's portraying shit that didn't happen. But the stuff that really did happen, like a Kainu punching Whitebeard whole face off, we're not gonna show that. But Garp get to vaporize the whole island. Why do you get to do that?
That was crazy though. The scenery.
Y'all are skewing the narrative. Y'all are skewing the narrative, and people like me who respect the Marines and other characters who may not be as favorably like Blackbeard and some other characters, you make it impossible for me. I can't live like this. I can't live like this. Funimation, please. Y'all can make my goat look beautiful without pushing the agenda. It's nasty. I've been battling Shanks for the last year.
Yeah, facts. I'm not rocking with Shanks.
Now I gotta battle Garp. Y'all killing me with this shit.
That's
I'm good,
crazy.
y'all.
Wait, Miles.
Before you go, can I just follow up on this?
I just have a question for Miles. Wait,
Hey.
so is Garp not universal?
My nigga, no.
Bro, he's planetary.
Hold on. Before we get into all
Galaxy
that,
impact.
I'm glad you brought that up. Let's look at it.
Nigga, no, I'm out.
Let's look at
Nah,
it.
watch it. Nah, play that. Run it. Come on.
I'm out. I got PTSD. I gotta play it.
Play that shit, Riddell.
This is so much glaze.
Oh my
This
god.
is so much glaze.
Oh man.
Oh my
That's
god.
not universal to you, Miles.
What is that?
Miles.
That's Galaxy.
Galaxy, bro.
He's on the screen
What
right
is
now.
going on?
Bro's in the universe right now.
He's multi-universal.
I read the scriptures and this did not
My nigga
happen.
stronger than fucking Saitama. Confirmed, nigga. What the
Yeah,
fuck
he
is
might be
this?
stronger
This
than
didn't
Saitama.
happen.
Krillin could
Look at the
never.
amount of
Krillin
galaxies
could
I'm
never.
seeing right now. Bro.
Shit, Goku. Apparently, a lot of people could never. From what I'm seeing, what the fuck is this?
This is sad.
Wait, so you're telling me he never does this?
He does this, but the way they gassing
he
it to
does the
crazy
Nah, I
proportions.
ain't gonna lie, bro. Look at my son, bro.
I will say this to you, random. In the manga, he maybe destroy like a block, and this, bro, it looked like he destroyed like a
The
whole
whole
city.
city.
Random. How it was described, he had one of his subordinates. She's able to like subjugate things with her whip. That's her devil fruit. So she makes the city square, encapsulate a bunch of like the lower level pirates, and then he does a localized attack on that specific area. They got this nigga vaporizing the whole shit.
Whole city.
Crazy.
No,
I ain't gonna lie, though.
buildings
Yo,
were
that's the
disintegrating.
Blaze. My boy ain't
But-
making it to what?
Can I just give Oda some slack in Funimation, some slack?
No.
This was your first time really getting to see Garp do something, so they kind of had to glaze it a little bit. No, it's not okay. All right.
When
All right.
so when my nigga Aokiji put that nigga in the y'all better make it look glazed. It better come on.
He is about to do Garp. Yeah, he's about to do Garp. I ain't gonna lie.
He about to pack
That
him.
pack is about to
Can
be-
I? But since we're talking about Garp, can I just throw one thing too about to get negative about real quick? Because I'm sure I want Ty to do your thing, but mine is quick. For all of y'all out there that are on Twitter, that are on TikTok, Instagram, saying, "Why is Garp doing for Kobe what he should have did for Ace?
I was gonna bring that up too.
What he
get
should have
into
did for Ace?"
Let's get into it. Come on, J-Rock.
This is what I want y'all to do. I want you to get up. I want you to go to Home Depot. Go get some 2x4s and hammer in some nails. I want you to build a bridge at your local creek and get the fuck over it because he's not coming back. Because he's not coming back. And the other thing about it too, this is y'all problem. Y'all want to praise that little MFer for not listening to his godfather. His daddy gave Garp the boy to be a good person, to be a Marine. Ace wanted to be. I want them to see. I want to be rebellious. You want to be rebellious. And then let's even go a step further. You wanted to call your dad's op dad? I'm lost with you, Ace. And all of you out here talking about he ain't doing this for Ace. You know why he did it for Kobe? Because Kobe's the future of the Marines and his beloved student who listens and stays loyal and listens to his grandfather and his OGs. Ace wanted to do it his way. And so his way got him executed. His dad, backwood, Akainu, through the chest. It is what it is. And then he's stupid too. You could have escaped. Bro talked about your bastard unbiological daddy, and then you want to get your get back
and get packed.
Well, he didn't do for Ace. Ace could have went home. So
J-Rob,
let's just get it over. Kobe is him. Kobe's the real chosen child. Okay,
Ace
future.
I ain't gonna lie. For people to compare those moments as if in one moment he's conflicted, in the other one he's not. Like obviously, obviously it's gonna be like him saving Kobe came with no confliction. So obviously,
come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Well, my thing is, because I'm glad this came up naturally, because this was on the topic list, because I saw everybody talking about it. I thought when I saw it, I was like, why are we comparing these two moments? They're so different. And even if you want to go J-Rob's route where Ace didn't listen, which he didn't, if Garp saved Ace, that would have been the worst situation of a Marine saving a pirate.
Not a Marine. No, Radell, not a Marine. The hero of the Marine.
The hero of the Marine saving Gold Roger's son. Like the situations were so different. Like Garp couldn't do that. In this situation, Garp is just saving another Marine, like from pirates. Like they're completely different situations. I don't understand how
nobody wants to mention the fact that Garp sat on that stoop and bawled his eyes out because he couldn't do nothing. And when Akainu killed him, when he told Sengoku, "You better not lift me up because it might be dishonorable discharge. It might be over. I might kill him." So let's not act like Garp wasn't emotional about Ace's situation. But it's like if your kid goes to prison for murder and is on trial,
and he helped in his own way. Even Luffy was approaching the platform and he was the last line of defense. He threw the fight and let Luffy continue. He could have easily impeded Luffy's path. He helped in his own way that would allow him to save face for the Marines. He told his two grandsons, "You have a choice. Or be a pirate, and I can't do anything." And they chose. Everybody understood the situation.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, we gotta stop acting like Ace is a little kid that wasn't making grown decisions.
He was 100% grown.
He knew the consequences.
At the end of the day, what we know from Garp is that he has a vision for the Marines to make it better. Like ultimately, he wants to make the Marines better, and he knows that if he try to save Ace, that all of that goes downhill. Like everything is gone. All the work is gone. Kobe's the vision. Kobe's gonna make everything come true. Kobe is the end goal of his vision.
Yes.
So there is so many. Like I feel like people are just like, oh, this guy is someone who got taught under Garp, and this guy got taught under Garp. Like, come on, they're completely different situations.
And also, too, like, let's not act like Kobe wasn't the Marine parallel to Luffy from the start of the show. Like, it was set up for him to have his own journey into being this elite Marine. He said it. He's literally when they asked him what he wanted to be, he said, "I would love to be a Marine." Like, he said, "I want to be a Marine to help people."
And he has his own crew in the form of Sword. He has his own unit, and they all mobilize together, and they all have the same vision to be great Marines and change the world.
And they're kind of tough too. My guy with the mud joint with the Crush, I like him.
He's tough,
and he's swaggy too. And he's swaggy too. He got some drip. I like him. And he got to go through. You got to go through too.
Also, like at the to kind of go back to the earlier point, because one question I'm going to bring up in a second is Ace went out of his way to do stupid things by going after Blackbeard that put him inside the situation in the
He
first place.
always did stupid stuff. He was
Yeah,
a crash out.
like, people were
This is why
telling
I
him
never
not
liked
to do
Ace.
it,
This is why I
and he
never
kept
liked
He was
on
a
doing
crash
it.
out.
Facts.
Thank
That's
you.
why
Literally.
I was thinking of a comparison because now I was like, okay, if Luffy was in danger, how far would Garp go? One, I don't think Luffy would put himself in a dumb situation like Ace does, like purposefully, even though everybody's telling him. Luffy would do whatever he wants, but he's not gonna go. He's not gonna put him in that much of a precarious situation. But my question is to y'all though: how far do you think Garp would go to save Luffy's life?
I think it would be a lot of the same things as with Ace. However, I think the difference though is I think Luffy has more support than Ace as a whole. Like if something were to happen where Luffy was captured, I think there would be a lot of people coming to save Luffy because a lot of people believe in what his potential was, believing what he was going to be. So, I mean, I don't think Garp could do anything. Like I don't think he has favoritism because I mean, if he's wanted, he's a pirate at the end of the day, right? But
I'm going to go on a limb. People don't like the idea of blood ties meaning more. Yeah. But I genuinely think that being his actual blood grandson, I think he would have. I think if Luffy was on that pylon instead of Ace, I think Garp would have interfered for sure.
Yeah,
I don't think he would have let his biological grandson die.
Yeah, that's
I don't think he would have let his grandson die. I don't think so.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that. I can
All right.
see that.
Well, Ty, you ready?
That's literally my legacy.
Like literally. Listen, man. I'm so happy J-Rob's here because there was a lot of just nastiness last week. So we had a discussion. I don't know how this discussion came up. I know why it was triggered, but I don't know the context. It's triggered because people like to hate on Bakugo. You know how it be, right? So we had a conversation about was it Bakugo's fault that All Might lost his power? Now me, someone who's not a hater, said it's not his fault because he was kidnapped. Why would it be his fault he lost his power? Why would that be his fault? And then Random and Lonnie said some pretty interesting things. They said, well, during the raid, he ran out to danger because a pro hero told him not to do it. He did it anyway. I was like, huh. Now here's the thing, right? I can admit my memory was foggy on this, but then I heard the voice of J-Rob saying, read your scriptures. Like, oh my God, okay. Let me go back and read these damn scriptures because this doesn't sound right. Something's off here. And when I went back, I went to a deeper dive. Everything that Random said and Lonnie said just didn't happen. It didn't happen. There was no situation where he was sitting out there not around with the pro hero, and a pro hero specifically told him to stop, and he went out. I got something better for you. I have some evidence. Can I have y'all read this line for me? What does this middle one says?
That pro hero Eraserhead said it's okay to fight back.
Oh, so they told him to engage. Well, you look at that. They actually told him to fight. That's the crazy thing about it, right? So when they were doing the reason they were out in the woods because they were doing a training exercise, and the heroes ambushed them, and they ran into a hero on accident. And then when they ran into them, eventually Ozawa gave them the okay to fight back. Then in the next chapter, as they're in mid-battle already, that's when they say, Kachan, we want you specifically not to fight back. So they told him to engage to the point where Bakugo himself says, first it's fight, now it's not. So they told the announcement for the people to fight, and that's why they were already engaged. Because they bumped into him on accident, then they were told to fight, which is why they engaged, and then they told him to peel back. But here's another issue with this: is that Todoroki points out that they can't run away because it's either the villains in front of them. If they ran away, they would have ran into the gas that the villains let out, so they were trapped, so they couldn't run away. So even if Bakugo wanted to run away, like Random said he should have, it was impossible to do so. Not only that is that he was also, because it's a narrative that he don't listen. He was also cooperative with Todoroki. You know something interesting? No one talk about this. Do y'all know that Bakugo is handicapped? Todoroki said you can't use your quirk because if you use it too crazy, the woods will catch on fire. So did he argue back with Todoroki, or did he cooperate with Todoroki? I know there's this thing called character development that we pretend that he's who he was in chapter 1. We ignore that, right? He was cooperative with Todoroki, and because of that, they were able to take down the villain that was in front of him to get away. And then after that, Deku and others pop up and they form a formation to protect Bakugo. Does he fight back? Is he combative? No, he cooperates, and then Compress just sneaks out and takes him. So not only did this pro hero that told him to stop eating and listen around the character, that doesn't happen. I don't know where he got that scene from. It doesn't exist. You can try to find it. It does not exist. Not only that, he was told, he got the announcement to engage, was why they were in battle because he ran across a villain, and then he was told to engage, and then he was told to build back. He could not escape because they were trapped, and then he cooperated with his classmates to get away. And not only that, he then was snuck and stolen by Compressed, but that was not his fault. So I'm just trying to figure out, either there's only a couple options. Either the villains were just that good, they got him anyways, or all the people that Bakugo listened to it gave him bad advice. That's is the only way that could happen, because he listened to what everybody said. He listened to what Todoroki said. This is what Aizawa said. He listened to what Deku said. He listened to all of them, and he still got captured.
So what's that mean?
Because I was told he got captured because he didn't listen, but we found out he listened to everything he said and he still got captured. So is it they getting bad advice, Random?
It's just because Random just don't like him. Random don't like him. He don't like him.
Because the scene that you said happened just didn't happen. You too, Lonnie. So either the villains are just that good, or the advice he was given when he was listening to people.
Too much aura.
This idea that he didn't listen, got captured. He actually listened to your guy Deku. He listened to what he said.
Yo, you know who Bakugo is?
He listened to what the cat lady said. So explain to me why he got captured.
Do you know who Bakugo is? I'm starting to realize it. He's Noah Lyles. He's Noah Lyles. Bakugo just talks and says, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and he just do it. Time in, time out. But to quote my dog Charleston White, it's his delivery. They don't like the delivery. If his delivery was better, it'd be cool. But he's Noah Lyles. He just time in, I'm the fastest, I'm the best, I'm absolute victory. And just wins and wins and wins and wins and wins. We just gotta give Bakugo his flowers. He listens.
The J-Rock, the cherry on top is that when he got captured, he told Deku to stay back so he wouldn't also get captured. So, like, I'm just trying to figure out. Maybe Random, maybe you or Lonnie can explain to me how is it his fault he got captured again?
Let me say this, because I told J-Rob this a few days ago. I was just like. Yeah, because I was talking to J-Rob in Discord. Yeah, and I was just like, yo, I got Ty. Him and Random were going at it. And I was just like, you know what? Because I've read My Hero 2.5 times now. I knew immediately you guys were talking about what actually happened. Because I also had because I'm also a former hoe. So I've had to watch My Hero with girls multiple times. So I know exactly what happens. So I was just like, yo, let me gas this shit up. So that's why I kept on throwing analogies and all types of other shit. I knew I was capping from the get-go. And the fact that I got you this upset for a week later, you crash out for a good 10 minutes.
Y'all don't respect the generational talent. That's the problem.
I love my dog.
He
tried to crash out a little bit.
His ancestor, one of his ancestors is literally one of the vestiges.
Riddell's next.
No, not Riddell. I want Random, because Lonnie, to be honest, you were a bystander. You were a bystander, got involved. You weren't supposed to get involved. You did. But I was just gassing shit up for the sake of chaos. Random was like, Random said it was Baku's fault that All Might lost his fucking powers. I need an answer from Random.
Random, you didn't say that shit.
Yeah, he did.
Random, you didn't come on this platform and say that shit.
J-Rob, you know what makes it worse? When I said
Random,
that All Might,
you did not say that it's Bakugo's fault. He lost.
He did. J-Rob, here's what makes it worse.
Random.
Here's what makes it worse, right?
Better than that.
When I said that All Might had a conversation about All Might, he doesn't blame. He was like, well, he's supposed to. He's an adult. Of course, he's gonna lie to him. I'm like, All Might lied. Wait, I'm like, where are we getting this from? So Random.
Was so that big ass bullet hole in his freaking rib was not a part of him losing his goddamn.
No, it was Bakugo. It was Bakugo.
It was Bakugo. Bro got a hole in his rib, son, every day.
Go ahead.
Nah, I was being nasty as fuck. I knew exactly what I was
doing. Okay.
No. If you want to go from a completely straight up nasty technical point, I mean, Bakugo gets captured is the final push to All Might losing his power.
Oh, he's doubling.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It's literally what happened. Hold up, Ty. Does Bakugo getting
No,
captured.
you're not gonna gaslight me. No, stop. No.
That's literally what
you
happened,
said,
Ty.
no, stop. No,
It's
you
literally what
said-
happened.
You said a pro hero told him to stop, and he ran out to danger anyways. That's what you said.
And what did I
Did
say?
that
What
happen?
did I say at the start, Ty?
Did it happen? No.
Okay,
Did it
Ty,
happen?
what do you want me to say?
Oh, I
Ty, I
love
was
this.
wrong.
I love
I
this.
was wrong, but guess what, Ty? I was also being nasty as hell. The nastiest I've probably ever been on this platform because I know it. Because I know it. Ty, if I'm about to slander Bakugo to you, of all people, guess what I'm going to have to do, Ty? I'm going to have to read the scriptures.
He doesn't deserve any
But-
slander.
But
He's the generational talent.
I don't matter.
Why
Let's
are you
keep
talking
moving.
like
we've
that?
already talked about
I
it.
mean, he is.
We've already
a
talked, but
generational talent.
Ty, you can say I'm not gaslighting you. All I'm telling you is what happened.
No, you did. No. You told me that. a pro hero told him to stop.
Ty. Once again, I will say it. I was wrong, Ty.
Bakugo is the
being
best
nasty.
God-given.
So hold on a second.
But, Ty,
Listen.
This is the
Random.
events of the story.
Random. Here's the difference,
Ty,
right?
you cannot
No,
deny the event.
random,
You always
random.
tell me that's how
No,
Horikoshi wrote the
stop.
story.
No,
You're wrong,
That's how
Random.
Horikoshi wrote
Random,
the
you missed
story.
the point, Random. I'm gonna explain to you. You said that this. So if you want to tell me the events that led to him losing his power are different than it being his fault. If you want to say the events led to his power, he got kidnapped and all my Satan, sure. Is it his fault though? That's where we're not arguing the events that led to losing power. We're arguing is it his fault?
All the way technically down.
Nah, it's not his fault, bro.
It's not his fault at all.
Well,
I
random
know,
thing,
I
if
know.
Bakugo never existed, this never.
Yo,
would
I
have
ain't gonna
happened.
lie. I ain't gonna lie. You gotta get that hate out of your heart, Random. Listen,
Facts.
Bakugo is the greatest God-given talent in the My Hero universe.
First things first. Let's not pretend like I've not given Bakugo
God-given
his flowers.
talent. Before you
I've
ask about God-given,
repeatedly-
that was
I
not
have
God-given.
repeatedly
He is
gave my
literally
man
given
his
to.
flowers.
Random
But all of a
doesn't
sudden, I
say-
want to be nasty about Bakugo. People got a problem with it. When everybody nasty.
There's nothing
I had
nasty about
people
him.
on this platform 35
He got
minutes
all the
ago
best
calling
moments
Jeff
in the
Katie
show.
when that's wrong.
He got all the
But
he got
me-
the best
me being
quirk.
alone
was he
as
not
a
gay?
Bakugo
I
is crazy.
got the perfect analogy. I got the perfect analogy because he says I give him his flowers, but he say things like you said last week. He skipped Bayless. He will rag on LeBron. Be like, I think he's the best person in basketball. I'm not
I
gonna
am
rag on him.
way different.
You're Skip
I am
Bayless.
way
you're Skip
different than
Bayless
Skip
of Bakugo.
Bayless.
Yes, has
No,
Skip
I am
Bayless-
way
You're
different
You're the
than
Skip
Skip
Bayless
Bayless.
of Bleach,
Has
Ty.
Skip Bayless
I am
given
way
LeBron
different
credit
than
for
Skip
kicking?
Bayless.
Sure,
You
but
definitely-
him
I have
giving
literally
him
glazed.
giving
I have
him
literally
credit
glazed
is a
Bakugo.
mask for his hate.
You're
Skip
the
Bayless
you're the
gives
Skip
LeBron
Bayless
credit
of Bleach, Ty.
sometimes.
You're the
Ty,
Skip
hold
Bayless
up.
of Bleach.
Hold up, Ty.
Which
Let's
time
not
Skip
hear-
Bayless a Bleach?
I take affront to
I'm
your
really
Skip
not.
Bayless comparison.
Yeah, you
I have
always got
glazed
underhanded.
J-Rob, you
got-
know.
You
You
always
know.
got an underhanded, yeah, backside.
Yeah,
I want to
you
ask
see
you a
it,
question.
you see it.
Ty, no, Ty.
I
No,
don't
you
lie
came
about
at me,
Bleach.
Ty.
I don't lie
Ty,
about
you
Bleach.
came at
But I
me.
said I don't lie about Bleach.
No, Ty,
You're
you
not
came
gonna
at me and
gaslight me,
you
Ty.
being
You're
Skip
not
Bayless.
gonna-
When have I lied about Bleach, Lonnie?
I do the gaslighting.
No,
But
Ty,
Daryl
you
does the
came at me.
gaslight. You're
No,
not
hold
gonna
on,
gaslight
Lonnie,
me.
hold up.
He
Lonnie,
lied
hold up.
about Buck. I don't lie about
Lonnie,
Bleach.
hold
He just
up.
lied about
Lonnie,
Well,
Lonnie, hold up. Lonnie, hold
Gaslighter
up.
recognize
Ty,
gaslighter.
no, this is not
Motherfucker, you be
about Ty.
gaslighting about Bleach.
Ty, Ty,
not.
Ty,
Yo, this is
hold up.
crazy.
No, Ty, don't forget about Lonnie. It's me and you right now.
Go ahead.
Oh,
I
he said
have
me and
glazed
you?
Bakugo more than Skip Bayless has glazed LeBron. Do not
That's
throw
a
that
lie,
Skip
bro.
Bayless tag on me.
What?
Do not. Ty. We literally made a whole episode, a whole main topic because of me and my hate on Bakugo, and I passed that shit with flying colors. And guess what? Because y'all know if I was being nasty, all of you motherfuckers would have been calling me out. Every single one of
Say
you.
what you really want to say.
I took it
Say what you
seriously.
really want to say.
Calling me Skip Bayless is wrong, and you know it.
No,
Calling me Skip Bayless is wrong, and you know it.
Random, if you were Skip Bayless, what would you say about Bakugo? What would you say
I'd
about
call him
Bakugo?
trash.
Listen,
I'd say he can't get it done. And whatever Skip Bayless would say, but I'm not Skip Bayless. I'm willing to give the man his flowers constantly am. I just don't like him, but I'm willing to give him his flowers.
No.
You need to
Skip
like
Bayless
that
calls
generational
LeBron the best
talent.
passer in basketball. He calls him the best driver in basketball. Let's give his credit. But it's all of a side, just like you do Bakugo, right? You'll say, "Oh, he's good development," but it's his fault. All my last part, like you're doing the,
One thing, like,
and that's okay.
no, it's not because you're lying about me right
I'm
now.
not lying.
You're lying about me right now. I've constantly, and we've even breaking it down. Like, first things first, this is not a show. I've legitimately told you why I don't like him. You just don't. Either you don't like my reasoning or you can't understand my reasoning. I've told you why. I've told you why. Do I need to tell it to you again for at least the 5th time?
Random. Here's my thing, right? Here's my thing, right? If if our debate last week was based on the bullying, then I can't argue about that. You went left field.
I was nasty.
I know.
This is on the same episode. Hold up. This is on the same episode where the same episode where 3 out of the 4 people who are on that episode plus Santo were calling Deku a fraud. We're calling him a fraud. But when I can be nasty, when I choose to be nasty, everybody got a problem with it,
That's
except for
the wrong
Lonnie
guy.
because he understood
That's
what
the
I was
wrong
doing.
guy.
The
That's
difference
the wrong
is
guy.
that we know that you actually hate. When we make jokes, we're not. You actually hate Bakugo. That's the difference. That's
No, I just don't like. If I hated him, I wouldn't say anything nice about him at all. If I let me hold up. Let me give you an example. Name one good thing I've said about Mineta. I slander him every chance I get. Every single chance. I hate Mineta. I hate Mineta.
The difference is that Bakugo is just a better character. Like you can't, like you have to say good things about him because he's just written that well. Like,
but it doesn't. If there was
that's your
something-
opinion.
I
Ty,
could
at the
say
same
something
time.
nice
That's
about
your
the tail,
opinion.
nigga, and
Is
I don't
he
even
not?
know his name. I
I agree that he is, but that's also my opinion.
I can say something nice about Tape Dude or Ingenium. I have nothing nice to say about Mineta at all. At all. That's why I rag on him. You can say he matters all you want. He's trash. His quirk is trash. His fit is trash. His name is trash. His color scheme's trash. He's trash. That's why he has a weird. He was gonna have a weird case until they literally brainwashed him in the manga. The nigga's trash.
Somebody else who has a weird case.
Listen, man.
What are we talking about?
One day, random. We're gonna bring you over to our, the right side of history. One day.
All right.
I'm
Well,
giving the man his flowers. I can't just be nasty, Ty. You get
Okay.
to be nasty. You get to be nasty about Gintama and Bleach, whatever fuck else you want to be
What,
nasty about.
bro?
I can't be nasty about.
The title one is
Bakugo.
it's like I now here's the thing, right? The difference is I don't mask it behind anything. I don't like Gintama. I just don't like Gintama. Like that's like no. And then Lonnie
tell you.
Then Lonnie. Just if you don't glaze Bleach, she think you hate it. Like that's what it is.
That is not true at all. That is not true at all. That is not true at all. J-Rob, do he be like sneak dissing Bleach sometimes?
No. I just think
you're over. I think
and y'all agreed. Y'all agreed with me.
No, I just think when it comes to Bleach, I just think Ty's is a little bit more, critical of the little things that we kind of put past for other anime.
Like what? Mm-hmm. Like what? Give me an example.
Oh my god! For example, the plot holes. You're very on top of the plot holes. There's plot holes in all types of anime. Why are you defending that?
You make a lot of writing excuses for a lot of anime, but when it comes to Bleach, you harp on that shit.
Time out. What plot did I defend outside of Bleach?
You never talked about the plot holes in Bleach up here before.
No, I didn't say that. I said, what plot holes do I defend in other series that like?
That's the problem.
Anytime we talk about something that we don't like in writing, you defend it. When we talk about Bleach, you've never defended it.
I literally talk about one of the biggest flaws in Dragon Ball is the cell side. I literally talk about that.
You love Bleach. You love Bleach, Ty. You love Bleach.
What is it? Right there. Did I talk about that in the Cell Saga?
Right there. Do he love Bleach or not? Just tell me you love Bleach, please.
This is crazy.
We know the truth. We know the truth.
What's crazy is that when I said the eyes was good, y'all say J-Ro had a concession speech and agreed with me. So and I hated it. He does too. He agreed.
What do I hate? What do I hate?
I guess I
liked your points. You made good points. I couldn't dispute it. Like, look, there's certain things that I know is kind of whack, or got some whack moments, or it's not really all the way put together. But aesthetically, it's for me, and I'm okay with it. It just happens that way.
I'm just trying to figure out. Listen, when
I just feel like when it comes to when we try to critique some writing, like I told you before, you have writing bias, which is not a bad thing, but you have writing bias because you view things from a writer's perspective. And so you excuse or you try to validate a lot of things that we have problems with. But when it comes to Bleach, you do not have that same energy. You do not have that same energy at all.
Tell me plot.
That's what he's saying about you. I ain't saying that. That's what he said.
That's what I'm saying.
No, Lonnie, thank you, Lonnie. So tell me what plot I defended.
Name a series. Name a series. Because I think we talked about JJK. There are things that we didn't like about certain things in JJK that you said made sense.
Those aren't plot. You see it? That's why you're cooked, Lonnie. Because those aren't plot holes. That's what you don't like.
Again, the thing I talked about with Bleach at the ending, currently it's a plot hole. Now, if it gets filled, that's fine. But what plot hole have I defended? That's what I'm trying to figure out where.
I have to look back, but whether it's plot convenience or whatever.
I love Dragon Ball, and I said that the cell that we see.
Oh, but the ending of Bleach, we all agree that the ending of Bleach is
we
not.
all agree. What the
fuck? Am I missing some of your takes on Aizen and some of the other characters that you've made in the past?
J-Rob agreed.
You don't got to explain nothing to me, Ty.
Yo, this is crazy. All the takes I say on Bleach, y'all agree with, but I hate it. Y'all don't. I'm so lost.
I never said you hate. You said that.
Yeah, I said
Yo,
that.
J-Rob.
And I feel that.
All right, all right.
I ain't changing Todd.
I want to
I see.
transition. I want to transition now. Let's move on to our next topics to start wrapping up the show. So let's move on. We changed the order, but we're going to move on to agenda. We had to talk. A lot of it was My Hero Academia, the ending. You guys can see why we made that the first thing because we had to go into deep detail for that. We probably will have a few more episodes regarding My Hero before everything's said and done and the My Hero conversation is over. But there was other things that took place for the last week. JJK had an interesting chapter. I don't know how much we want to really talk about that, but we can talk about that. But I feel like the thing that we definitely need to discuss is One Piece. One Piece had a really good chapter, which is why I was third in the rankings. And there's a lot that happened, especially with hockey. We got Joy Boy talking for the first time. So what do we think about the One Piece chapter? Miles, our One Piece fan, what do you think?
I'm gonna start with Emu. We haven't seen nothing from him. Absolute fucking fraud. He felt hockey, immediately fell to his knees, started screaming, crazy PTSD vibes. It killed a lot of the aura that he had. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn.
I do like the idea of the storage of hockey for a later date. I didn't mind that at all, and I thought it was a great way to kind of tie the robot into now and into Joy Boy in the past. The only thing that I wish I would have gotten, I felt like we were going to get this theme of all of the past allies of Joy Boy kind of imparting something onto Luffy to help him in his journey. So with Zanisha, he kind of got a little bit more of an idea of the voice of all things through communicating with Zanisha. Momo also got that little bit of help as well. But it kind of just feels like the robot, Emmett, I believe his name, he kind of resolved the situation at hand and didn't really. I didn't feel like he really imparted anything into Luffy. It kind of closed his chapter out, but I didn't have that connection to him because he's only been around for I think 10 or 15 chapters. So I just think that part really didn't hit as well. Interesting to see though. Joy Boy's hockey's cracked. We got to see that he's not a giant, which kind of surprised me. He actually seems like he's deformed. Looked like he had a peg leg, so I didn't expect that as well. It was very cool to see him on screen for the first time, even though it was his back and it was a silhouette. We're actually getting our first full kind of idea of what Joy Boy would look like. I thought that was great. His hockey's absurd. And seeing the Gorosei get packed up like that, I like how they were resolved. A lot of speculation was going around of whether one would fall here, whether they would die, whether we would figure out the tricks to their immortality. In most scenarios, I wouldn't like something like Joy Boy being the catalyst to remove them out of the picture, but I do think it was good to be able to remove them without them being defeated, without us finding anything about them and getting them out of the story, and it all made sense. I give this chapter, I'd give it about an 8 out of 10. I'm finally glad Egghead is over. I felt like Oda was dragging it a little bit. It feels good to finally be leaving. And yeah, I think it was a good chapter all around.
I feel like now that you mentioned the Gorosei and them leaving, that just made something come to mind. So are we thinking that there is a condition put in place that allows them to be immortal, but if you damage them enough, they have to return back to that room, and that room is what gives them their lifespan?
Maybe.
Something. I hope it's not a situation where there's satellites, like how Vegapunk had his satellite set up. I think that would kind of be redundant. But there's definitely a lot more to their connection with how they function. It is clear as long as one is in any given location, the others can show up at any other time. But we're just going to need some more details into exactly how their powers work. And I think Oda did a really good job of concealing that and not letting us know. He did a really good job at that.
Mm-hmm. Well, a few questions I want to ask.
Also, one more thing. One more.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, even though the Straw Hats did get out unscathed and no one died, the Marines did win this engagement. When Egghead was first set up and Saturn was basically saying what their mission objectives were. The first objective was to secure York's life. The second objective was to kill the Stella body. No, I'm lying. The second objective was to secure the Mother's Flame so that they can continue using Uranus, And then the third objective was to secure Punk Records and the island as a whole and make sure it doesn't get destroyed. Although they were defeated and pushed back, they technically did complete all three of their objectives.
Lost the battle, won the war.
Correct.
I can't even say won the war because the extra like wild card is Katarina being able to copy one of them.
I don't know how that's gonna go.
Yeah, so that's a huge thing that they probably didn't even think about, and now that's going to be huge for the plot moving forward. But a few things, one of the big questions, which I guess none of us know, but we love to theorize, what was Vegapunk about to say? What Joy Boy was, because he was about to say Joy Boy is blank.
Luffy.
What do we think he was about to say about Joy Boy?
Joy Boy is Luffy.
Of theories?
It's too open-ended.
Yeah,
I know.
Oh, like what-
Yo, Oda loves these like cliffhanger statements, man.
It could
Something-
be anything.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
I
really don't
feel
know.
like so. This is and I just thought about this right now after kind of reskimming the chapter. Considering the robot said that he wants to make Luffy king, this obviously means more than King of the Pirates because this is referencing
Clearly.
Joy Boy. So there's a bigger title in place that One Piece has just introduced. So my guess is that Joy Boy was like the king of everything. So that, as of right now, is where I'm going to go. Obviously, there's probably something a lot more detailed and nuanced, but the idea that he wants to make Luffy the king has to mean that Joy Boy was the king at some point. And what does it mean to be the king back then? And what we know what's going on now. And now we're seeing Emu. I'm kind of with you, Miles. He went on his knees the moment he sent Joy Boy. That's kind of crazy.
That's wild.
That's
Wow.
wild. So they must have taken that authority from him. So it could be something where like Joy Boy was like the original. Obviously, he did like all the Joy Boy lore and stuff, but like the original like king of everything. That's where I'll go for now.
Is there any possibility that like Joy Boy was like related to Emu in some type of way?
Related. You know, the theories of Emu being a woman, they could have been partners.
Or
Emu
his-
could have been a crewmate. There's just so many angles.
Joy
it
Boy
could
could
go.
have been.
I
Joy Boy
did see
could have
a
been
theory.
Emu's son.
I did see the theory that the girls say were they were Joy Boy's crew. And Emu was his right hand, and cause it's like some theory that like they're all represented like by planets, and so
Which they are.
I mean that which they are. So I mean it could be a possibility, but the problem is like you just don't know with Oda. You know, like you just don't know sometimes. Like some of these theories are good, but I think we gotta watch.
And then the whole thing with the drowning too, I know he kind of alluded to that, and it has actually been foreshadowed for a very, very long time. Scenes from like Water 7, panels from Water 7, where Iceberg actually feared that situation to see it come full circle.
Yeah.
I wonder what. I don't think it's ancient weapons that's causing this. I think it's something way greater. I want to see how far Oda really goes with this whole Great Flood, because it kind of brings the idea of the Noah's Ark that we saw on Fishman Island. There's just a whole bunch of things that were alluding to that. I want to see how far it really goes, how deep that rabbit hole gets.
Do you think there's somebody who holds a water like fruit, Logia fruit?
If it's gonna be anybody, I think it's Emu.
Because that's my only other thing too. Like, if let's just say this Great Flood is not based off like, you know, it's let's say it's sentient, like it's something that's gonna cause it, right? What if it's a Logia fruit? Like, what if it's somebody's fruit that causes a flood? Just because it's not virtually impossible, because we know that like the ice fruit, he can melt an entire island. You know, he can freeze an entire island. So, you know, I don't know for sure, but I'm just It could be something like that, like a CC fruit. Maybe that's why nobody with a devil fruit can swim, not because they actually can't swim, but because of the water is from a devil fruit user. I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there, you know.
That's an interesting idea. Another big thing from this chapter that I actually thought was very interesting is Kobe declared that he's going to prevent Luffy's dream.
Out of his league. He need to stop playing.
I'm not gonna lie though, I might rock with Team Underdog. Go Team Kobe.
Hey man, Kobe trying to
I might
prevent
go
Luffy
Team
from being
Underdog.
Listen, man, Kobe
is fire, bro.
But
did you guys see a Kobe Luffy confrontation?
I would love to
now
see
it has to happen.
No, he gets watched. I think it would just be. I think
right now, yes. Right now, yes.
Kobe,
right
you did good against you did good against San Juan Wolf, my man.
Can
Stay in your lane.
Can he get at least one more year to train? Can he get one more year?
I don't think he's gonna be ready. I don't think he's gonna be,
because that's still giving Luffy another year.
Can he get can he just get advanced conquerors, please?
I don't even think he's gonna have. I don't think he's gonna have conquerors.
Come on, no, Miles.
They set up
the future of the Navy. The future of the Navy. Come on,
it doesn't matter. The way they portray him is that of a normal, hapless human who, through sheer hard work, was able to get this far. I don't think he's a conqueror. He's been a wimp his whole life. He's never showed any of the signs of being a conqueror. He just hasn't.
But maybe. Do we remember Marine Ford?
That didn't move me.
Kainu.
And what did the Kainu do? Who are you?
I know, but that was brave, though. That was brave, bro.
I understand that.
Cowards is not doing that.
But bravery doesn't equal conquerors.
I get that.
Kid was mighty brave against Shanks. If any time conquerors would have been the time to show up,
why would I bring up my dog?
But I'm saying though, let's keep it 100. If it would have been any time for his conquerors to kick in and help him out,
Law got conquerors.
But I could still see the angle.
Law don't got conquerors.
I can still see the angle of Kobe getting conquerors because, like, from the beginning we meet him, we see that he technically conquers his fears, quote unquote, and that like he keeps on. Every time he's in a situation, he keeps on rising above it, and he does want to be the change in the Navy. So, like, if he wants to be eventually the head or king of the Navy or whatever, and he's conquering his fears, he's conquering all these different situations. I can see them giving him Konkaki. I don't think that's crazy.
I don't lie, Miles. I think it's a real possibility, Miles.
Lonnie, we locking in a bet.
I'm trying to get down on that too. Actually,
I'm betting on all conquerors hockey.
Kobe,
I'll bet you 100. I bet you 100 that Kobe by the end of the series will have conquerors. I bet 100 on it.
All right, we gotta put that in the Discord. Put in the agendas.
I'll put down 50. I'll put down 50. I do it.
It could just be conquerors hockey, right? Just conquerors hockey. You do
conquerors conqueror. No, okay. I'm talking the real deal spiel though. Not
Okay. No.
Yeah.
Make niggas fall to their knees. Yes. I want.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm down.
Oh, I'm about to be so rich. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my god.
But you have to give it that time though. It can't be. It has to. The series has to.
Yeah, we're gonna let it fully culminate. I'm not going.
Yeah.
I'm kind of liking the idea of Kobe getting conquerors because now that Garp is quote unquote gone, Kobe has to now take the reign of the leader of Sword and truly become the hero of the Marines by himself. And now the fact that Kobe decided to make the declaration that he's going to stop Luffy from becoming the Pirate King is a crazy thing for Kobe to do at this point.
Listen, they showed us who the key players were. Kobe wasn't up there. Not move.
Was he not?
No,
he wasn't. But he will be. He
was no. They already set the stage. I can name them. I know it by memory. It's burned in here already. I know who it is.
Go ahead. Set the stage for me.
Aokiji, Akainu, Blackbeard, Luffy, Buggy, Shanks, Garland, Unidentified Man, Emu. That's it.
Okay, so now let me ask you 2 questions. My boy gonna have to get
and Dragon. Thank you, Dragon. I forgot about Dragon.
So Kobe
Sambo's not there.
So Kobe's not gonna get his lick back
against who?
Aokiji.
Bro,
I'm asking you.
No.
Why not though?
1, because they're both sibling disciples. 2, in that fight, it was already alluded to that Aokiji was holding back and truly did not want to fight Garp. There's not going to be no real animosity. 3, because Aokiji is definitely not on the side of Blackbeard. He's definitely not. He's not a villain. He was unhappy with the way the
True, very
Marines were
true.
being run
Very
under
true.
Akainu, and I don't know. Maybe he went incognito. Maybe he's on a secret mission. Maybe he defected to do his own thing and follow his own justice. But we know for a fact that Aokiji is not a villain.
point.
We know he's not
Good,
bad.
good point. Yeah, I agree with that. I
I
agree with that,
agree
too.
with
Good
that
point.
as well. But
Yo,
okay,
Kobe's getting confident. I'm gonna just $100, Miles. Let's do it. I'm a bank on.
I like Kobe.
Then
But
I like
I don't
Kobe to
know.
get
I would have
confidence after
to.
that.
I would have to think about it a little.
I'm gonna believe in my guy.
I don't.
Jay,
Hey,
are we gonna smoke that Zao with your bread?
because I like
Bro,
Kobe enough. to
ramen
go-
noodles. We smoking
Miles,
ramen
Miles,
noodles.
I like Kobe
Zan
enough
Zan.
to go.
The ramen noodles are.
Miles, I like Kobe enough to go 20. I don't like him enough to go 50 or 100, but I like him to go 20. So we'll go 20. We'll go 20. So hey, we here.
So that's 170 in total. I'm good on that. I already got the Mihawk bet. And I got the economy one that I know I'm gonna lose, but I was standing on my nuts at the time and I couldn't back down. I had to be an alpha. But the Mihawk one I'm gonna win, and this Kobe one I'm gonna win.
Okay.
I give
But
it to that.
how do
red
we
lightning
think?
crackling around Kobe?
We'll just let the Kobe stuff manifest a little bit more. And the JJK chapter did come out as well. A lot of talking from Yuji and Sukuna. For me personally, I skipped past a lot of that dialogue. I'm not gonna lie. Until we got to the end,
You bad. You're sad. You're a sad man.
I couldn't care less about Yuji's.
You're
dialogue.
a sad.
I couldn't care
Hold
less.
on,
I'll
Joe,
be
you
honest.
hate Yuji that much?
You're a
If
sad.
it was
sad
Utah, he
man.
would have read that shit.
Oh,
You're
absolutely,
sad,
he
man.
would have. If that was
Absolutely.
Yuta, he's breaking down words and
sad.
what they mean.
Yeah, I ain't gonna
That
lie.
was Yuta.
Why
I ain't gonna lie,
are you?
Riddell.
Hold on.
You're
Hold
sad.
on.
Y'all roast me for
Hold
Bago,
on.
but y'all let me stop.
Hold on.
I'm
I'm
calling
not
him
letting him
sad.
slide.
You hear me?
I'm not
He's
letting him
sad.
slide.
I ain't letting him slide
Relax.
on that
Oh
one,
my
though.
goodness. Y'all think I'm doing the worst thing ever to Yuji? I didn't even say anything bad about Yuji. You're
You
just
literally
Oh,
skipped
no,
his
I only skipped
dialogue while he's
dialogue.
doing his domain
he's
expansion
the biggest
against
Yuji
Sukuna.
hater. Oh, like relax. I skimmed it. I got what he was saying. I just didn't care too much about the dialogue. Relax. Okay,
Nigga
I'm
got
not
the
saying I
Cliff
hate
Notes.
Yuji. I'm not saying I hate Yuji. All right. Anyway,
My boy watched the YouTube video, didn't read the chapter. That's
what?
crazy.
No, I don't watch YouTube. What?
That's crazy.
Okay,
Continue. What were you saying, Riddell?
Random is chatting. Anyway, so I did skim it, the whole dialogue. It wasn't really moving me. But at the end, when Yuji looks Sukuna in his eyes and says,
I hate you.
I can kill you whenever I want. Man, that was aura right there. That panel had so much aura in that panel when he said, at any moment you are done. And Sukuna's like, who are you talking to?
He said,
Yeah,
if you
I
come
felt
back
that
to me, I'll let you live. I was like,
I got a hot-
I
I got a
felt
hot take
that
about
one.
this.
I
I got a hot
felt
take
that panel,
from this
bro.
chapter, man.
what's your hot take, Ty?
My hot take is that first of all, it's fantastic. Great chapter. Yuji showing Sukuna about like the importance of memories and love and why him just basically noticing that Sukuna can't appreciate those things. I think that we're probably going to get Sukuna backstory and it being very sad. The reason why I think that is the case is because this story has been showing that Sukuna, for some reason, doesn't value love. He doesn't value it for some reason. You can go back to the earlier chapters. He's doing there in Nate Domain. He talked about talked about the consequence of being greedy. And we know with context, he's talking about, at least with context, we know how Sukuna feels about it's basically strength versus love and how you can't have both. When he's talking to Jogo, he was like, listen, you clinging to curses wasn't going to help. You should have focused on yourself. That's basically saying you should have gotten rid of love and focused on strength. So the question I would ask is, why does he value strength so much? What made him basically discard love? I think that we're probably going to get that. Now, does that mean he's going to get redeemed? No, you can have a sad backstory and not be redeemed. But I think the story is leaning more towards that because for some reason he does not feel anything towards love.
To your point,
sad backstory.
To your point, Ty, also like a few times, like when he was fighting Makima, he's like, I need to figure out what's better, like focusing like on the body or focusing on Jujutsu Kaisen or focusing on Jujutsu. But at the same time, towards the end of the chapter, he got really volatile when he thought that Yuji was sympathizing with him. So that's like another thing. It's like it's like a self-image thing for him as well. So it's like whatever he went through, whatever his past, whatever like his self-image, like things like pity, shame, or the fact that like people think that they need to help him, that like fucks with his mental. So
So to your point, I think that's like a big reason why he is the way he is.
Well,
But
another big
I just hope
part
they
of
don't try to
that-
make us like try to sympathize with him.
Another big part of that is thinking that you're on the same level as Sukuna, because the only way, for the most part, you would be able to sympathize or empathize with someone is like you're on the same plane. And Sukuna not only doesn't feel all these things, but the fact that anybody thinks they're on his level is something he hates as well. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting. And another point, and Ty, you can respond to this as well, or whoever wants to respond, is that the fact that he says the statement that free Fushiguro and I'll spare you, obviously Sukuna's not going to listen. So the question is, how will Megami get freed, or will he get freed if, based off Yuji's statements, he can't free him right now? So Sukuna has to do it willfully. Do we think Sukuna will ever do that willfully?
I don't.
That's what I'm thinking.
He's too prideful to ever do something willfully. But I think like we see that like with Yuji's domain expansion has something to do with soul shit, because it changed Sukuna's appearance back and reverted him back and stuff like that. They're going through different stages, so it's kind of like that comedy guy, how like kind of reality warps and stuff like that. So whatever, but every domain, like I've said, every domain has a hit at the end, or like a condition that's going to be met. So whatever it is, it can either affect the soul, or it's gonna do something where it's gonna make Sukuna impossible to like keep Megami.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna surrender.
Yeah. Well, definitely very curious to see what this, and the fact that Yuji has this much confidence. I also need to know why now too. Hopefully we get that as well. Why is it a good time to use it now? That'll be important. But I agree. It's time to get the backstory, so it's in due time. Any other thoughts about the chapter? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say one more thing. I also think, along with him not understanding love, I do think in a way he does. Like when he was talking to Itadori, remember when he was having that introspection about him not needing anyone to please him? He was questioning himself. Like he was questioning how he felt about other people pleasing him. And also before he fights Gojo, he thinks about the quote about Yorozu saying that I have much to teach about love, and the like ultimate strength and the solitude it brings in about love. He thought about that before he fought Gojo. He thought about it again. Remember in Gojo when they both were bleeding out. They had the brain damage at the end of the chapter. We see that quote again about Sukuna thinking about the quote about love. I think subconsciously he wants to understand it. I genuinely do. I think that whatever happened in his past made him reject it, but I think he, in some way, shape, or form, even subconsciously wants love.
To touch upon that point real quick too, is I'm curious, like, what is the distinction in terms of Sukuna and the emotions that we're talking about? Is it a situation where he refuses to have the emotions, or like Ty says, is he incapable of feeling these things? So that's why he's curious about them, and that's why he sees everything as like a person squashing an ant. Like, I feel nothing to you. So when you feel nothing to someone, I don't want to go into like, is that really like you being evil or anything? But that would be an interesting case study of like, is this out of malicious intent, or is this out of I feel nothing to you, so you don't really mean nothing to me? I'm really curious to see like what dynamic they decide to go down in terms of Sukuna, because a lot of the things he was saying within that, and on what I was saying as well, is everything is stuff that he just doesn't feel. He's not at the same type of wavelength in terms of your feelings towards other people, because all of you are just like nothing to me. So that'll be interesting to dive into as well. Lonnie, you about to say something?
Oh no, I was gonna bring up the next topics if we're done with JJK.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, because I think Sakamoto. Where did Sakamoto rank? Ty?
Number one. It was number one.
Yeah, because it was for a good reason. So the last two chapters of Sakamoto Days, we see like the ending of the whole auction.
I'm not caught up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you should definitely meet me. Is anyone else caught up with Sakamoto?
I'm caught up.
I am. Okay. My boy King Donka is back.
Okay. So like the last few chapters, like it was the conclusion of the whole auction, and then we get to see the whole backstory between X and Rion and like how he actually like ended up getting her personality and how she died and everything like that. But this latest chapter, Sakamoto's finally like, yo, I gotta get back in the gym. I gotta work out. I need a new master. And then Kendaku finally woke up from that coma. So I just want to know what y'all thoughts are because I think it's about to go crazy. Especially
Yeah, I
with
like it.
X having Mr. Takamura's personality that he can't fully control. So he's eventually gonna be able to master it. That's gonna be his power up. And now we don't know what Sakamoto's gonna be able to do. So I just want to know y'all thoughts.
I'm really excited to see what the pupils become because I think they both have a lot of talent, and so really just to see like how further their abilities progress. I think that we already know Sakamoto's going to be insane, but I do want to see like what their development is going to be like. To be honest,
Ty?
That shit, bro. First of all, that chapter was tough. Like
Facts.
this whole, I think as far as what it's gearing up for, it's kind of cool. We get like a training arc. I don't know if this is this like the last arc of Sakamoto Days? Like we're gearing up for.
I don't know if it's the last arc, but I'm feeling this would probably be the last training arc or whatever.
I'm not really sure, but I think bringing back his sensei to basically train him so that he can reach peak Sakamoto. Like he's gonna, it seems like he's gonna be like maybe probably his peak like permanently. Like he's not gonna be swapping back and forth. The fights are already phenomenal. I would like to see peak Sakamoto versus like the stronger version of Takamura because you know that Slur basically took on Takamura's identity, so he also was stronger than me. Like he blitzed the shit out of him. So like, he's a stronger version of Takamura. So like that fight is gonna be crazy.
He's Takamura with like a prime body. So
pro. Yo.
But my side, because how I love villains, is he technically evil? Because seeing his backstory and everything like that, his whole purpose is like he's trying to save his friends from the orphanage. And so really the head of JAA, he's the asshole. He's the one that's doing all this stuff behind the scenes. He killed the former head, doing all this other stuff. He blackmailed Slur to the point where he ended up accidentally killing Rion. And then because of the shock and the stress, he took on her personality. And now he just wants to destroy JAA so that these things can't happen again. So is he technically in the wrong?
He's like that person that's going too far, but had a good idea. That's what it's looking like.
But at the same time, he's not really fully in control of his actions either because of the Rion personality and the Takamura personality. So he's not like fully in control of his actions. I'm not like excusing his actions, but I'm just saying he has a good reason. Yeah, he's going too far, but he's also not in full control of himself either.
Yeah, I agree. But I just think like from the idea of like you're asking, like, is he a villain? I mean, yes.
Because it was Rion that put the bounty out on Sakamoto.
Yeah, but I feel like he's just gonna probably just go too far. That's probably what I think it is. As far as like him being, I don't think, but he's not pure evil though. He's not like an evil person.
Oh, and did J-Rob go? Because I did want to talk about Wild Strawberry because that chapter was also pretty big. Oh, Riddell, you can come back, by the way.
All right.
Riddell, are you caught up on Wild Strawberry?
Yo, good?
Yeah. Yep. Are you caught up on Wild Strawberry?
Oh, for sure. That shit is fire. Wild Strawberry, I've been letting Sakamoto Days cook a little bit, so that's why I'm not caught up. But
this chapter is very important, so it's time to catch up.
Oh, it's getting into important levels. Okay, I'll be in time, but Wild Strawberry heat.
But Wild Strawberry, I want to talk about because to me, like in terms of like initiation arcs and stuff like that, this might be maybe the darkest because like we've seen like the tuning exams, we've seen like the Bleach, not the Bleach, we've seen like Black Clover tournaments, we've seen like the My Hero tournaments and stuff like that to like get like your rankings or whatever else. But Wild Strawberry, they're taking it to like a whole new level, especially with the first phase. It was just like you guys got like 72 hours just to survive with no weapons against these Jinkas, and niggas are getting eaten alive and all this other shit. And then the latest chapter, they get to see their eventual fate, which is also really messed up because we know that these shears, they like eventually they affect you like slowly and everything like that. And eventually, it's gonna corrupt you. Eventually, you're gonna become a Jinka yourself. And so
I don't think it's eventually. Well, I mean, I could be wrong, but from my understanding, is some of them can't not eventually, but some of them can turn into these monsters. So
Yeah,
certain
over time.
people,
Well, because it eats from you like every time you use it. So I think so the fact that like all these Jinkas that they now have to kill are their former seniors, and these seniors all volunteered. So like instead of eating people, like, hey, we're just gonna be like a test for these newcomers. I think that's like it brings like a perspective, like, oh, this is like some of their future. At the same time, it's like I don't know. I just feel like it's awesome, but at the same time, it's really messed up because it's like if this was Naruto and it's like a bunch of ninjas that are gonna retire and you have to kill them to like pass the exam. It's kind of like looking at like your future self in a way. So I just thought that was really interesting.
yeah, Wild Strawberry is not afraid to murk people. Like they really go for it. I've liked this series for a while, and it's the fact that it just keeps on getting better. And after like the prologue, because it was kind of a prologue, the way they did it is so interesting. They had like an introduction, introducing the characters, introducing the important ones, trying to tell you like how bad things are. Then they go into a training arc to kind of go to the official organization, and then you go to that organization, and like I forget the percentage, like 90% of the people who go there, or 50%, something like it's over 50.
No, I think they said 90. I think they said 90%.
90% of the cadets that go there die. Like it's not, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. They die in horrific ways. So, and the fact that they're now introducing like new characters, like the other characters that are going to be growing up. Personally, for me, when Kaiju number 8 did it, it didn't really move me. When it was like all the other cadets did it.
Wild Strawberries.
Wild Strawberry and how they're doing it is moving me a lot. Like I'm really locked in to see what they're doing and all the other side characters. They definitely seem like they have more individuality compared to how I felt in Kaiju number 8.
And I think when it comes to like this whole training thing, it's like they're like this shit is not fair at all. Like it's like the whole training arc, like you're set up to fail from jump. You have to survive the Jinkas with no weapons, and now you're fighting former seniors of yours that also have the weapons and in Jinka bodies. So it's like you're at a disadvantage regardless. So it's like I don't know. It's super interesting, but at the same time, it's like super messed up.
Yeah, I think Wild Strawberry could definitely hop on the scenes, similar to like The Promised Neverland when it came out. I do think it will be one of the next ones. Someone put this. I think there's like 30-ish chapters, I believe, Danielle. But someone put a comment in one of our videos about Kagurabachi being up next, and it's really seeming to me like the ones that I'm comfortable in Shonen Jump is like Kagurabachi. I've praised it all the time. I'll continue to praise it. Goku Rakugai, even though it comes out monthly, and Wild Strawberry. Chojin X, I don't know. I feel like Chojin X might end soon, to be honest. I'm getting ending soon, not ending like next, like the end of this year or next year, but I don't think it's going to be that lengthy. So maybe not Chosen X, but I feel like those series are comfortably doing a really good job, and they'll be able to do a lot of great things. But 2 of the series don't come out weekly and on Sundays, and they are really like seinen kind of in terms of their brutality and the amount of death. So Kagurabachi is the only like really Shonen Jump type series right now that I have like a lot of faith for the newer generation. So we'll see. But I do have a question for everybody here, because this was a question that's posed a couple times on this podcast, actually. Now, My Hero's officially ended. Jujutsu Kaisen's ending at the end of the year. Demon Slayer's already ended. So this is what people are saying are the new big 3 or whatever. So the question is, will there be another 3 series that will be able to fill in that gap? Especially for the anime scene. I'm not really projecting for the manga, like the ones that I talked about, but for the anime scene in particular, because that's really how you earn the big 3 status, right? So do we think there's any series right now that can take reins now that the 3 big series are ending anime-wise?
You talking about JJK and My Hero now? Like
JJK, My Hero, obviously Demon Slayer's anime is going to end, so yeah.
JJK has a little while to go, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The
That's
end
a
of the
lot.
year. JJK has the end of the year.
Well,
Yeah, but
manga,
with
but
the
anime.
Wait, are you
wise,
talking about the anime or the manga?
With the anime's still gonna go for a little while.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
lot.
so the
The
manga
anime's gonna be
JJK
another 5 years.
Oh, just
4 or
manga.
5.
If you're talking manga, I would say Kagurabachi based on like how well it's doing right now. I would say I'll put them as one of them. I don't know about I don't think the other two, but I think it's definitely one of them.
Sakamoto Days, I think, could be popular, but at the same time, because Sakamoto Days is good, but in terms of like when it comes to like the big ones, usually they have to be like characters that like children relate to, like things that get children engaged and stuff like that. And since it's like a older cast, it might do a little bit less in terms of like kids, especially young kids. Like My Hero, that's where like My Hero and Black Clover, like that's where they excelled it, is like with the young children demographic. And JJK, like they also have like teenagers that like kids like liked and stuff like that. Sakamoto is all 30-year-olds and stuff like that. So that's where it might struggle. No, it'll be successful, but I'm talking about in terms of like the head, like the big three. I don't know if it'll be like that.
I feel like with Dragon Ball, when most people got into it, they were all adults, but it was still like had an impact on like the younger generation.
Fair. Let me rephrase the question, so this will be good for a clip. Now that with the 3 kind of consensus new generation big 3 ending for the most part, with Demon Slayer, JJK, and My Hero, which series will fill that void for the big 3 of the next generation?
Can we say One Piece?
No, you can't say.
One of my picks is Kagurabachi, but which I
And
think
I agree, Kagurabachi. I don't want to say Wild Strawberry yet, just because of like how it's more on the seinen side. So I don't know if it's gonna get as much love from everybody.
Well, are we talking about Weekly Shonen Jump?
Well, usually the big 3 are Shonen Jump series, so.
I'm saying, are we talking about Weekly?
But I don't limit yourself to Shonen Jump, because my picks
Oh,
are not.
it's gonna be like Omnipotent Reader, Tower of God, and then Kagurabachi, probably.
Yo, who's?
Sorry, there's an earthquake going on right now.
Oh, damn.
Well, die in silence, guys. Like, I'm not you, random. I'm saying everyone around you.
He was trolling in GTA. He was trolling. Yeah. L on it.
Oh,
he about to die.
Is your place shaking right now?
Yeah. It's not bad. It stopped, but
I hope no one was injured during the earthquake.
I feel like the problem is
unless you're a person I would not like, then that's a different conversation. But I'm kidding.
Oh, someone said free Ren.
But free Ren's so free Ren's weird because like it's as good as it is, they keep on going on breaks. So I don't know what's going on with that. Like they just dropped the chapter today, and then they announced that they're not getting another chapter till the 28th. And they just got off another break before that.
Don't worry, YouTube. There's no death on stream. We're good. He's just handling his business. Do not demonetize the stream. He's just handling his business. All right.
Yeah. Random, come back with a helmet on. You'll be good.
He's not making it better.
Oh man. For me, I'm actually with Lonnie. My picks for the new generation that will usher in, especially for like this new era or wave of like content that's coming out for anime. I'm definitely going Tower of God. I'm all the way on this Tower of God train, of course, as you guys know. Solo leveling seems to be it. I would say God of High School, if they do season 2 justice, I would.
Is it getting a season 2?
I don't know. So that's why I'm just
getting a season 2.
I feel like they have to, but we'll see. Right now, solo leveling's my pick. And last, especially considering was it Mappa or Ufotable?
Ufotable.
Omniscient Reader will 100% be a banger. Like
they about to cook on that.
Oh yeah,
the minute Demon Slayer was over, they about to cook.
Yeah,
Reader's about to go crazy.
That's my big 3: Tower of God, Omniscient Reader, and Solo Leveling. They are going to pave the way for webtoons to an insane degree moving forward.
I was talking to another friend that's into manhwa. I wanted your opinion on this, since you know
as much Tower God as me. They were saying in terms of the anime, because the season 2 is going to end with the workshop games and stuff like that. That's where season 2 is supposed to end.
Mhm.
But in terms of like Tower God, they said that it might struggle after that because the train arc is just so long and it might end up being redundant for some people. I don't know if it'll be like that because I feel like the train arc, as long if you want to call that whole 200 plus chapters the train arc, I can get where you're coming from, but like there's different sections and areas that I feel like they could cut off to make it into different seasons. I just want to know like how you think in terms of anime adaptation, if the train arc is going to be a negative.
Miles, how far are you in Tower of God?
The workshop battle.
Okay. For me, when it comes to the train arc, I actually really like the train arc, especially with all the twists and turns that happen. Like there are so many you're gonna find out about a lot of people. And are we counting like the thing that happens with like the past in that as well?
They count that all as the train arc apparently. Like it's like
Then
200 plus
train
chapters.
arc is gonna be fantastic. I don't even know. I don't even understand. I do think they probably will break it up, but Tower of God could enter that interesting category potentially where it gets a larger number of episodes per seasons as the popularity grows. So
I feel like that would have to happen for the train arc. I feel
for
like
sure,
it
I
can't just
agree.
be 24 episodes.
Yeah, I agree. So that could definitely help it. But I do think there are points within the train arc. You can go like part 1, part 2, part 3. So I don't think it's really worried because there's huge like stopping points and cliffhanger points within the train arc itself that ushers in another important part because it's like section off of like different things, different interactions, different conflicts that happen within the train arc. And so yeah, I'm not worried about that. So train arc is going to be fantastic. I think it'll be really good. So nah.
How are you liking the workshop battle, Miles?
I'm fucking with you. I like Tower of God. It's mad good. I just got to where I'm at the very beginning of it. So Kun and their group just got an invitation, but I was kind of confused because they set it up to where Kun had to use Bam's former group. My fault. Something happened in the background. Kun had to use Bam's former group in order to qualify for the workshop battle. But then the next page, they literally just got an invitation. So it was kind of confusing to me. I'm just more interested in seeing how all of those moving parts interact with each other because it looks like Hots is gonna be there. The original OG group is gonna be there.
Mhm.
Bam with his super doped up Fug badass group is gonna be there. I fuck with them heavy. I like that group heavy. They're gonna be there, and Coon's group is gonna clash. So I'm very interested to see how all of that happens. What kind of fights are gonna happen? Are they gonna find out that Bam is Viol? It's just a lot going on.
A lot happens.
I'm kind of suspicious on something about Viol doesn't strike Bam to me, and I don't know why. Like, it just doesn't feel like Bam to me. Like, there's something different about him. So I'm hoping they expound on that. I think y'all be dragging it with the One Piece comparisons, but from where I'm at, I think the world is amazing. I think the idea of going to these different floors and doing different challenges hosted by different people who have their own way of thinking, I think that's really fire as well. As far as anime, the anime's fucking gas. Like I said, I was watching him fight the ranker. When he was Viol, I had to go instantly read it because I couldn't wait for that next week. After he had got punched across that water, I think it's really going to be one of those ones. I like it way more than Solo Leveling. Way more than like me, my interest in Tower of God and my interest in Solo Leveling, it clears. I think Solo Leveling is just a glaze fest. There's not that many revolving parts to me.
Fight. Miles, it's just fights. That's all.
The Tower God is just
different. And I think it's ass. I think so. I'm sorry. I don't think Solo Leveling is good. I think it's all glaze, all hype, and no substance. I don't like it. But I like Tower of God. I really fuck with it.
Yeah,
wow.
What?
I was gonna say the reason why I compare it to One Piece is because One Piece is like such a big world and like so many different islands, so many different adventures, and Tower of God is like kind of the same way in terms of like the levels of the tower because every level is the size of like a continent. So it's like every
every test is like interesting and it's a big ordeal. Then there's like a test. A lot of times there's a test before the test, and then like a situation before that, and they're all different. So it's like it's just when I'm comparing it to One Piece, I'm just saying like a big adventure because Tower of God is at like 800 something chapters right now, and it's nowhere close to being done. It's nowhere close to being done at all. That's why I'm just saying it's like a big adventure. If you want to dive into a big world, a big universe, and like you're already on and you like things like One Piece, Tower of God is another big adventure world to dive into. That's
So
what
I don't.
quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, to jump off of that real quick to kind of add it to the point is not only is like the world and the geography super comprehensive, the power system is super comprehensive, the lore and all the families and the lineages and the connections is super comprehensive. And also for me, not only is it very long, but also for me, Tower of God, One Piece is like obviously what it did for Shonen Jump is undeniable. I think Tower of God is that for webtoons. I think what it's going to do for webtoons is going to be amazing. That's why I've been hyping it up like all the time. So there are so many things that I feel, which is kind of crazy. I feel they're probably inspired by One Piece, to be honest. Like I'm going to make some One Piece with like a fantasy Sword Art Online tower type thing. So those are all the different reasons why I say it's the One Piece, not necessarily story, but all the other factors.
Yeah.
The last thing I was gonna say is I did notice the common theme in a lot of manhwa is having like an overpowered protagonist. I think his version of OP is done really, really well because they give it to you in spurts. They set the precedent that we're aware that he's definitely different from everyone else and he's definitely better than everyone else, but he has to kind of work through it and go along the ways and continue his journey to access it little by little. And I really fuck with that a lot. Whereas that Sung Jin Woo dude, my dude is just getting shit. He's just ascending. He's just waking up. I'm not moved by that solo leveling.
I'll say this: Bam definitely has like a
you
lot
read
of
the whole thing.
With solo leveling.
No, I didn't. I'm not random. I'm not touching that anymore. I don't like it.
Wow, he doesn't like. No, I'm saying, Bam definitely
It's not crazy, bro.
It's really not.
I understand from a story's perspective. I definitely understand where Miles is coming from because we've talked about that. And Mystic, you're right. The anime does, but the anime is going to have to do a lot more of that going forward. Like I said with Solo leveling is just fights. That's why I like Legend of Northern Blade as much as I do, because it's the fights, Miles, and it also has a great story to go with it. That's why I like Northern Blade as much. But I mean, if I'm looking at it, I don't see why. Like I would treat solo leveling like Sword Art Online. That's how I put it. But obviously, I don't like Sword Art Online as much as most people. But I just treat it worse.
Yeah. Miles, the way I consider Bam, I kind of consider him like kind of like a Naruto, where it's like he does have to work a lot. He does have training arcs. He does have like hurdles, but at the same time, he's destined to be him. Like, there was nothing that was gonna stop him from being Timothy. At the same time, just off of his background and things like that, like he's set up for success.
And it's great. It's great that they introduce. The one thing Tower of God, the names, man. I think I can't.
There's hella
names, bro.
There's so many people.
The blonde haired dude,
number 3 dude. Is he number 3? The ranker dude?
No, you're talking about not Jihad. You're talking about the
the
blonde haired guy that's
the blonde haired king with the ring. Wongin, like something like that.
Oh, he's the one that starts off season 2. You follow. Yeah. Okay.
I really like the duality between the two because obviously he's pathetic. He doesn't really have good abilities, but you get to know that he's super important to like everything, and his goal is to change the tower. Bam has no such goal. He doesn't care about the tower. He just wants to find answers. So the duality between them two is super great. And I mean, this is a perfect opportunity to talk about the anime too. The recent episode, which was fire with Tower of God. Don't you like? I really appreciate it when they don't treat the viewers as like dumb because Kun is not dumb enough to think that Rachel didn't kill Bam.
I love it.
I
love that. I love knowing that he saw through it. I love that.
But I also love his pettiness that he's like, yo, I know you killed my nigga, and I'm just gonna keep you around. I'm just gonna keep you close. Just the moment you slip up, I can just ruin everything for you.
By the way, he's vile. I haven't seen I don't know if I want to call her an antagonist because I don't think that quite fits. She fits that bill.
I'm with you. Yeah.
But as far as like a villain or like an antagonistic force, she's fucking vile as fuck. When she took my dude's legs away, the guy who runs fast, and she didn't permanently injure them because he's back in action for the workshop. But just the idea of like, let me attack the thing that's most precious to you. She's pretty fucking vile.
Which makes like when we get her backstory that ties Bam, her, his mother, all that stuff. Once we get all of that, like I'm so interested. What made Rachel so like despicable? Like what brought her so like she has a goal. Like she obviously has a wish. She wants it so bad. She's willing to do whatever it takes. She's
I don't know how much exactly you know.
Man.
I don't know exactly how much you know, Riddell, because I'm like
you might be ahead of me. Yeah,
I'm like 5 chapters behind from being caught up. I'm probably gonna finish.
Yeah, you're definitely ahead of me. Yep.
But to me, at the end of the day, because first impressions do mean a lot, and even like second instances. I can't wait, Miles, because after the workshop, you're gonna be reading a little bit, and then like Bam sees Rachel again. That's gonna be a hype moment. You're gonna be like, yeah, like what's up, bitch? Because that's what I was like. I was like standing up, and I was like, oh, yes, let's get it. But no, Rachel to me, like she is a complex character. She's very what's the word? She's very nuanced in certain aspects, but at the same time, I don't give a fuck. she's like Sukuna, where it's just like, I don't care what his backstory is, he's still him. I don't care how sad Rachel's backstory is, Riddell. I don't care if she had to kick puppies to eat crumbs. I don't care how sad her life was. The moment she pushed my nigga off that thing, it was up from there. The moment she stabbed the dude in the legs because she was just salty, it was up from there. So I'm not gonna talk about anything further up because I don't want small things from Miles. Was like, I'm sorry. You can have the saddest backstory ever. Your name, Rachel, you got that blonde hair, it's up for you. I don't care. Yeah.
We also don't want to spoil for the chat because Tower God anime is going, everybody's locked in. We don't want to spoil y'all because if
wait. When did we get soft? Wasn't it read your scriptures? What happened?
It's like 100 chapters worth of spoilers.
I would say there's certain exceptions.
Riddell going soft on us, man.
A little bit because okay, so there's a few series that I'll be like, I don't want to spoil. Attack on Titan, I'll never spoil for anybody. Tower of God isn't another one. I ain't spoiling it. Tower of God, I need people to really lock in because we also got to get people to read it, right? Because One Piece, everybody reads it. We need people to lock in the Tower of God, make it as big as it should be because it's really one of them ones.
Eventually, we just got scheduled. Eventually, me and Riddell will do like a Tower of God for Dummies, just like basic terms and basic like the factions, the terms, the power system, how certain things work. Maybe we can get into the weapons, the series weapons and stuff like that. Just basic, so just basic knowledge because like I do feel like Tower God does, in terms of explaining things organically, like they have some trouble with sometimes. So I feel like if we can just give people like a little bit of like a dictionary, like okay, this is Jihad, this is what he did, this is what Fug is, this is what Shinshui is. Things like that, I think that would help out a lot of people.
Who's Black Zoro?
Okay. So, I believe it's right when they're starting the I don't know how to describe it, but they're doing that test where they're all in the rooms and they can come out at different intervals of time. There's a contestant that's literally wearing Zoro's exact outfit, but it's a black man. It's literally Black Zoro.
I completely missed this scene.
I'm gonna send it to y'all after the show. It's literally Black Zoro.
Okay. All right. Last thing, and then we're gonna wrap up the show. Long show, but My Hero ended. It deserved a longer show. Who's seen Deadpool and Wolverine?
I slacked. I was moving.
That shit was heat.
Miles,
I was moving.
You were. That's fair.
He was moving.
That shit was heat. Oh my god. I like Riddell. I don't know if I can agree with you on it. Reigniting the MCU. I still think
don't spoil me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil. I don't know if I can agree with you saying reignite the MCU just because how unique of a character Deadpool is. But I'll say this: the next time they say Deadpool's in the movie, I'm pulling up. I'm absolutely pulling up. That was that movie was gas.
Quick question for y'all. Someone, because I have not seen Loki. Someone did tell me that seeing Loki will give me a further understanding as to what's happening in that movie. Can you guys like corroborate
So
that?
I'll say this. There's a big part of the movie where a setting that they're at is in the first season of Loki. But is it needed? No.
Okay.
Well, no, I disagree with that because to understand why they are doing what they are doing and the multiverse aspect of like the TVA and how it's currently operating the way it is now.
Oh, that
because
that
of
part.
the events of Loki. Because the TVA has completely changed the way they do things. Most of the plot is like not it's still just like a lot of interactions and stuff, but some key elements to understand, you know, Deadpool, what the TVA, like that aspect, you would need to know about Loki.
Yeah, if you don't know nothing about the TBA, then I would say yes, but that you would probably need to watch Loki.
See, I didn't watch Loki, Miles. When I watched the movie, I was fine.
You don't need Loki to understand.
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
movie.
you don't need it to understand, but
I think the way they
It gives
explained
an
a lot of
extra
things.
layer. Okay.
Yeah, I think the way they explained a lot of things in that movie was very well done. In terms
as long as you know, like, the TBA are like the cops of the multiverse.
Yep.
Then you're good. Then you're good.
They explained something in that movie very well that I think a lot of people would do. I think, God, Riddell, the cameos alone, bro.
The cameo,
Cameos alone.
yeah,
Bro,
the cameo.
Miles, I saw one cameo. I was with a girl, and I had to like stop myself from like shaking her because I was so excited. Like I like grabbed onto my chair like I was gonna rip it off. I was so pumped in one of them. I was like, "Fuck, yes, bro."
Oh, I also have to say, like, now that I'm thinking about it, not only the TVA stuff, but to understand the place they go to, that's like a huge part of the movie. That the context of that place, you learn
That's
about.
what I was talking. The context of that place is in Loki. But but even then, like, because I think I went with my girl and she didn't really watch Loki, but at the same time, she was laughing and
You'll still enjoy. Yep.
yeah, she was laughing more than I was. She was going crazy. So it's like, as long as you know, like the TBA, they're like the cops of the multiverse. They deal with like irregularities and stuff like that. Then that's all you really need to know. But in terms of like the place and stuff, if you want like to know the significance of that, then like I would watch Loki.
Also, like a movie you definitely need to see before watching Deadpool and Wolverine. You got to see Logan. Like you have to see Logan.
I saw Logan.
Yeah, you have to see that.
It completely blew my mind that they're technically part of the same universe.
Yeah,
it blew my mind. So
man,
yeah,
I'm
go
here,
see
bro.
Logan. That shit was
Deadpool,
neat.
Wolverine, fire. Did you know that? Well, this was in the trailer, so I don't think it's a spoiler. Lady Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds' wife.
Makes sense.
That makes sense.
Oh,
there's some crazy cameos in there, man.
I did hear there were some crazy cameos, and one of my coworkers was like he loved because it wasn't just a cameo and a dip; they were actually important to the plot, and some of them actually stuck around for like a meaningful amount of time.
Yeah,
do you remember the cameo that Nathan Fillion was in? That one was that one got me a little gas because of the story that cameo comes from, and I was like, they could do this right if they do it, but who knows?
Yeah, definitely Miles and everybody else, the other captains have to see it too, because a conversation topic that a lot of people are starting to have is regarding I think I could say the term because you don't understand the context of the term. So I would say the term now. If you want to move, up to you. But once everybody sees it, we definitely need to have the conversation more about anchor beings. Because I feel like that conversation about those things, especially in the current like universe, there's a lot of theories out there. So we definitely got to touch upon that for sure. Because Deadpool and Wolverine opened up like a whole new kind of thought process of the MCU.
When I was leaving the theater, I was thinking about who the MCU's anchor being is. You think they just limited to one for the MCU?
It has. They made it sound like there's only one per.
I think it's personally Spider-Man, but
I think it's.
That's just my personal thing, but
well, Is it dumb to say that it's Thor because he's the only one left?
I was actually thinking Thor.
Could it be anybody good or evil?
All we've seen,
Yes.
so all we've seen.
So like, could it be like a Thanos, for example?
I mean, I as of right now, we don't have any evidence to say no, Miles.
Okay.
They've only showed us the person, and he was on the good side. So I was like, but I don't see why they'd limit it to just one side, because that'd be dumb.
Oh, but ending news. Apparently, according to Comic-Con reports, the Naruto movie production is a shit show. Apparently, and there are fear.
Movie are you referring to?
This is
The live action one? The live action.
Okay.
Yeah, they're saying that early reports are saying that it is Dragon Ball Evolution esque. Like that's how it's Lionsgate, and there's a lot of conflicts, there's a lot of mishaps, there's a lot of things going wrong with production.
Yo,
they can't get it. Like One Piece literally did it for you to get it right.
Okay, man. If you don't mind me, I don't feel like making a live action Naruto is not as crazy as people think it is.
So I'll
it shouldn't be that hard to adapt, right?
Before we go, while at Comic-Con, I've been told that live action Naruto movie in development at Lionsgate with Destiny Daniel Cretton is a complete disaster. It's on the level of Dragon Ball Evolution, or even as bad as what Lionsgate is doing with the Crow reboot. There are people high up working on Naruto that don't have a clue who even the villains are and are asking questions about most of the characters. Yet they're developing the movie. Yeah, they're just developing Naruto. I'm being told some people on the cast believe they're developing Naruto to take advantage of the built-in audience, but don't know anything about the IP and don't respect the source material or the fans.
If you're gonna make Dragon Ball, I still say to this day, after they made Dragon Ball Evolution, we are lucky that we were allowed to see anime after that. That movie was one of the worst of all time.
If this is just a money grab,
went to jail.
If this is just a money grab.
Bruh, how I know we do it, but like you are looking at this thing that is massively popular. You want to somehow find a way to do a live action of it in the US or around the world. Why would you not take that's like if somebody took a thing of Superman and they just made it and didn't know anything. I think that's that's irresponsible.
Negligent.
It's negligent. It's don't do it. If you're not going to put in the time, this is one of the biggest series coming out of Japan of all time.
Now,
if Japan made a Dragon Ball Evolution-esque Superman fucking movie, we'd be fucking pissed. People would be pissed. And you're going to do that twice to two of the biggest series in anime and manga history? You gonna do it twice?
Come on. No, I'm with you, man. That's a disgusting work. We need to lock in disgusting work. But all right, so that is all we got for today's episode of Black Sensei Society. Appreciate everybody who stopped by to obviously watch the episode. Of course, supporting the channel. Of course, support all our members. And don't forget, we are having a fantasy football league, BSS Fantasy Football. It should be a lot of fun. Just join the Discord. Go to our link, join the Discord. First come, first serve. Members get priority. So you guys can become a member as well. And if you guys don't know how to support the channel, well, let me help you out. Make sure you guys like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and ping that notification bell so you never miss any bit of content that we make. And you're here for the podcast episodes every Tuesday, 9 p.m. EST. Also, leave us down a comment. We'll make sure to reply to every single one of your comments moving forward. If you have a question, we may even answer that question for a future podcast episode. And of course, make sure you guys rate the podcast 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Leave a review, give us your thoughts, and again, we'll make sure to shout you out on a future episode. So we appreciate you, and back to the craziness that is probably going on the BSS. All right. Also, shout out SummerSlam for the people who showed up to our SummerSlam stream that we have. For the big 4 PLEs, we will stream on the YouTube channel, to entertain our WWE fans and WWE wrestling fans, of course. That was a great show. But we'll be back next week, Tuesday. I feel like that will be an appropriate episode to kind of conclude the My Hero Saga by talking about how good it was overall. I think that is the next topic, really diving into where it ranks all time, where it ranks on our personal list. So we'll do that next week. So appreciate all of y'all. Y'all have a good one. Take care and peace.